Oh, Fluff's fucking hucking shit at me. What is good, my dudes? Oh, I'm curdling in despair a little bit. All right, boys. It is the, third day of being in... Oh, my God, the name of the stream, we're all fucked. Oh, I forgot entirely. Well, give me a minute. It's gonna be a real basic thing. Stream. Oh, I didn't hit that right. No, stop. OneDrive, stop it. I hit the wrong button. God damn you. Play together. Sure. Why can't it be in all caps? Hope day good is what we're gonna say. And good old high. A rushed high, man. All right. We're also gonna change it to tiny. There's an I in there, isn't there? Yes, there is. There we go. All right, done. Yikes. Sorry about that. Flawless. Absolutely flawless. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah. Ew. Lone Sinker says, "What's up, Grinn? Be back in a bit." Okay. Well, I was really excited to talk to you. Fuck me, I guess. No, I'm kidding. But, ladies and gentlemen, how has your day been? Let me hear about it. Fluff? Kidney stone update. Is it gone? Or is it still very much there, very much uncomfortable? Or are you just fucking juiced? High to your mind? I'm hoping for the latter. Is that what? I think... yeah, latter means the one there, and the former is the one I just... Yeah, that made sense. Spark says that background picture looks sick. Thanks, man. We could make it go a little bit more. We could do some of that. Boom. We could do some of this. Go from a different angle. Get the right eye thing. Just a little bit above. Like that. Wizard Archer. Or something. Yeah. But how's your day been, Sparks? Who? Ladies and gentlemen. We finished. But there's more to come. But it is finished. I'm just gonna live in the man, I was gonna ask this. Maybe this is nobody has this issue, but man, I can stay in a state of constant motion all day, basically working on a ladder and constantly staying in motion ever since 8 to basically 4:30. Because I need to be here at 5 for the stream. But does anyone? So for me, my muscles, my body doesn't give. I don't get exhausted. I don't get winded. None like that. But my feet are fucking in agony. And I don't know what that is. I think maybe it's poor circulation in my feet. Maybe it's I think it might be that my shoes have a bad toe box where there's not enough space for my feet to actually dig in. But I think I'm gonna have to drop some $200 some shit on some decent, really good shoes, because I think and I don't want brand. I'm not going for brand shoes. I'm just going for something that is structurally fucking perfect. Because I've always had shit shoes. I'm a Converse guy, I fucking love Converse. Converse didn't make my feet bleed. I would rock Converse, but yeah, it makes feet bleed. So yeah. But I'm thinking about this one YouTuber who I watch who basically was talking about how hard it is to find certain shoes. So I'm basically going with these ones. But it's weird because do you want full ergonomics where it's just fucking wrapping your foot up? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think you also want shows to me the biggest giveaway of a shit shoe is if the toe is does this. If it's just trying to make classic rural horrible Japan / China, whatever kind of thing it is, of breaking feet bones and making your feet look thinner and coming to a point. If that's the part of the shoe's design, I'm throwing it out because it's immediately ergonomic my ass. Your feet are not supposed to be locked together like that, or at least my feet. I work out without my shoes on essentially. So my feet are constantly grabbing the ground, so they're basically really spread out, which is a little freakish. But yeah. Fluff says, it's lying dormant again. So we have to wait until the doctor's appointment on Tuesday to see for certain. Yeah, maybe get that sonic breaking it up a little bit. Spark says, not bad, just need to get a new keyboard and mouse skates since I bought a new mouse pad. Okay. Wait, skate? Okay. You get a new keyboard and mouse pad, man? Man, I feel like that's a whole spectrum, Sparks. Like it used to be a huge thing to have like an LED keyboard back in the day. And now I don't know if it's possible to get one that doesn't have LEDs in it. But I do think the mouse to me, although sometimes people market things as like, this is ergonomic. And I'm like, what does that mean? Explain why it's good. You know, like sometimes the mouse doesn't make any sense. It's just more uncomfortable, but in a different way, you know? Nub says, normally when I've had feet problems since it's been due to the shoes. Okay. I also, when I get out of the shower, my feet are like red, even though it's not like I haven't actually been, it's not like a hot shower. It's just like, I think I have poor circulation in my feet, which probably doesn't help with the whole thing. Han says, I am pretty standard, not real energetic, and not too tired. Okay. Fluff says, might just need to get some support. I tried insoles, the support insole things. It don't work. I think it, because to me, this is me I'm a freak as a human being. But ever since I was a kid, I've always walked on like the front part of my feet, like my heel rarely touches the ground. So then when I'm in shoes, especially shoes that have like the fucking, like they basically smush your toes like that, my feet can't like actually be comfortably like a wolf or whatever touched on my thing. So yeah. Also, huge. Well, also, why is that so fucking pushed over there? But thank you so much, Lone Syndicate. Huge. I'll read your message. Thank you so much. But give me 1 minute. Yeah, but I think that's the problem. So I don't think it's like I don't think it's the heel insole thing. I think it's that I can't like walk as I am naturally used to walking. Spark says, Stefan says, arch support, maybe make it a big deal. Yeah, man, I tried those before. Maybe I just got like bad reading. Like this is because you do that thing where you step on like the pad at Costco and it like tells you where what version you want. And I did that and it was lies. Spark says, I bought a Carnold boots from when I was in construction. Good steel toe boots. I never got blisters. Hopefully you don't need to extract the kidney stone stuff. Yeah. I got some new shoes after over a decade of having flat Converse. Got some Dr. Skull insoles that has definitely made it possible for me to be on my feet for significant longer periods. Okay. Spark says, I bought a G Pro super light mouse. All right. Super light. I wonder what that means. Stefan says, BBIB going for a dinner and what? Have fun, Stefan. Lone Syndicate. Okay, Lone Syndicate. First of all, Lone Syndicate just subscribed. Also been subscribed for 23 months. What? Lone Syndicate says, all right, I'm back. Just got done watching Happy Sugar Life. After watching it, I'm just like, what the fuck? What is Happy Sugar Life? Sounds like something I've heard before. Stop it, Control. I don't need this today. I don't need your fucking bullshit. God damn you. Let's see. Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I know. Well, a magic time. We are once again... I'm once again asking for your financial... No. But also, I have this waiting for me. I'm not sure when I'll eat it. It was of course, Canadian stuff. It's that. It looks super fucking hard to see because of lighting things. But that, like, the browning of it looks pretty good. I don't know what it is. It looks like what is it called? A fucking swirly thing. I'm not sure if I'll eat it though. I'm not now, at least. Fluff says, you'll probably need shoes that support your walking style then. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that that's the case. Because I just think I need a shoe that has a open toe box. But also, no one uses those, despite it is incredibly inhuman to walk with your feet smushed together. But yet every goddamn shoe, because it's like a style thing. Like, it does make your foot look more slim. But I'm not here, people. Why are you looking at my feet, you creep? You know, like, stop it. Don't judge me on my shoes or something. I know some people love their shoe game. I am not one of these people, although I respect it, I guess. Lone Syndicate says, almost 23 months, almost 3 years. I know. That's insane, Lone Syndicate. To me, I just know whenever I see past Whenever I see past like 8, I'm like, fuck. What? It's just too many emotions to handle. Spark says means that it's super light. Gotcha. It helps with FPS such as Apex Legends and Warzone. Yeah, does it have a way to account for the mouse cord though, man? Because that's what I find. I find like you have to have a lot of real estate for that mouse cord to be good. Or I've seen a lot of streamers and shit use like wireless mouses. Is it just the technology has gotten to such a point where like, nah, bitch, you don't need any mouse cord anymore? It's able to have a ton of refresh rate even still. I don't know. I just feel like that mouse can get caught on shit and that'll fuck up you a good bit. Also, just the weight of the mouse having like a lead can fuck up with your mouse isn't heavy enough, you know? But we were crazy people talking about mouse weight. So yeah, also, yeah, I remember I was looking at mouses to get, and you can literally get like weights in your mouse. And I'm like, I get it. I get like, yeah, people take esports, I get it. But also, wow, that is a level of like, I don't know if I want to adjust that meticulously. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm hedging my bet on the wrong thing. I'd rather dedicate more time to just trying to get good than to like fuck with the weight of my mouse. You know. Granted, if it's an option, then fuck it, more features, baby. Maybe this will help. So I get it, but for me, I'd get a little bit. I'd be like, what am I feel like this is weird. Very weird. After reloading companion chats, man, we are not getting that one that we looking for. Pain. But, all right, go over here. We're gonna delete our character. Delete. Goodbye forever. This. Paste. Uh-oh. Paste. There we go. Hopefully it's back. Let's hope it is good. Lone Syndicate says, Grinn, happy sugar life is a romantic, physical horror, thriller anime. I'm gonna look it up. I don't know what that is. It sounds familiar. It sounds like I've heard something about it. Happy Sugar Life. Let me Google it. It is this and then this. Let's go with this. Oh. Is it the hot? Oh, this is the one girl with the bandages. That's what you were meaning. Got it. Yeah, no, I've seen the same imagery. I don't like it. I don't like it. It looks like that one where kids are murdering each other. Also, why is there an image of someone getting stabbed right now? Why do you want to see horrible things? Why do people want to see the world be in agony? What is happening with people? Why did nobody tell me this is happening, by the way? This shit. Weird, dumb, curly hair. Ladies and gentlemen, my hair's dumb, curly hair. If you have curly hair, you look great. All right, but do you guys know I was born with a full set of hair and it was curly as hell? And then it just stopped. Yeah, crazy. I'm not sure if I can pull off curly hair. It'd really be too much. Yeah, is this the one? I might have reverted our save before we actually got a lot of chances to reroll. Let's see. Maybe not. Melee damage. No, we want the fucking explosion one. Barrage. Sorry. Activates AoE things. God damn you. Melee attack stuff. And we're out of luck. Unlucky. Fluff says, my mouse has weights in it. I never bothered to reduce it. So it's heavy. Yeah. I just like... I don't know why, to me, it's like a 50-50 thing. Do I reread the comment or do I make it a comment that I wanted to read? You know? And your words are valuable, but sometimes when it's a long day, you're like, fuck it. I'm gonna make this make sense to me in my head. Why can't it work? Why is it I have to copy it every time? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. And backing out and loading back in. Flame God says, have you played Valkyrie Chronicles? I have not. Is it a game? Let me look it up. It sounds, I haven't actually heard about it. Valkyrie Chronicles. No, I finished editing the Let It Die kind of quickie synopsis stuff. So that'll come up on Monday. Today's another not Mimi. It's just a thing. No, it looks anime, like strategic, kind of like Brothers in Arm kind of anime back in the day. I don't know why people love World War whatever so much, you know? Where you got like semi-guns, kind of tankish shit stuff. It's not been my cup of tea. I know everyone has a reverence for a certain time period. I'm not myself. I hate it. I hate everything that's not current day, frankly. Seems like a hell. With one exception to maybe, I don't even say it's a reverence. I would just say it's like a great game. But the, what do you call it? The Assassin's Creed 2, the whole, like, what is it called? Fucking fireworks. Weird masks. Dancing. Seems like a birthplace of STDs also. Someone will help me. Somebody will help me tell me the time period. Or like act like a thing in time. Fluff says, mine also an MMO style mouse with around 12 side buttons. But by default it has 1 to 0 and plus. Yeah, man, the button thing seems cool. That one I would be into. Fluff says, since the SDU discount is still going, would you happen to have go to... Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, come on, Fluff. Are you in the thing currently? I could just give it to you twice, because I'm going to kill this account anyway, this version of myself. So I'll invite you, and I'll give you all the giblets. You know what you... How much moon ore do you have, Fluff? Could you give me some of your moon ore? Please? I give you a ton of money. You give me something, I can give me that moon ore. I'm not sure if you can give moon ore. If you can't, it's okay. I was just thinking, hey, this could actually be quite helpful. If I can trade moon ore, sure, hell yeah. Fluff says, if you discount. Fluff says, it's honestly not that heavy though, but it suits me well. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would rather adapt to it, you know? I don't know if I feel like I'm the kind of person. It's like, have you guys ever changed your what is it called? Yeah, it doesn't look like you can do the moon ore. I'm just gonna give you all of it. I'll just do all of it. Can I go to that many zeros? Does it let me? It does. Fuck it. But have you guys ever like gotten stuck in the hellscape that is rolling? Like you're not rolling. It's like trying your fucking, what is it called? Like the sensitivity in a video game, right? Like when you're like, oh, the sensitivity is too hot in this new game. Oh, okay, I'm gonna increase it. I'm gonna decrease it. And then you're just kind of stuck in this limbo of like too fast, too slow, just fast enough. It's also even worse when you have like a barometer of 100. So is it 54? Is it 52? And you're like, God damn it. And you're like, and I feel like I should just shut up and adapt rather than be like, and I'm just stuck in the hell loop, you know? Hans says, I can trade 400 mil if you need. Hans, I'm good. Or no, maybe you're talking to Fluff. Gotcha. Yeah. Re-rolling once again. This elemental damage is not bad. Also, ladies and gentlemen, just the other day I was kind of passively, I don't know, not that it's a judgment, I just like to say the worst version of my thought possible, which is not a good habit, but yeah, I don't know, I've always seen someone do one of these when they're streaming. Well, that's a bad example. This is actually this is not a huge cup, but I'm talking about like a fucking giant ass McSlushy or something. Off screen, they'll pull it out and go and drink it, and I'm like, God damn, it's a lot of drink. All right, has so much calories, etc. And I was judging them a little bit. Not judge, judge is a strong word. It's kind of just like whoa, but also heart problem. But why do I gotta copy it every single time? Why can't you just save the copy that I make like you usually did? You've changed. But anyways, I found this, what do you call it? I tried something new today. There's this Wendy's drink. It's like a flurry mixed with like an espresso shot. It's delicious. It's very good. I've had a vanilla bean from Starbucks. I know, white girl trash, but very good too. But I think I put this one above that. But I also think Wendy's is probably like, we've talked about this. Even when Wendy's is bad, it's kind of fucking good. You know? When you get bad McDonald's, it's fucking disgusting. It's not disgusting. It's still like, chemicals, but it's also pretty bad. Since the SDU discount is going on, what happened if you have gold to spare? Nub says, my mouse has extra weight. I just have never added them. So basically, if I don't grip, it'll just fly away. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, first of all, I don't know how that happens. Even I have like less hand real estate, and that bitch is on it. I can't, yeah. But also, I can hold on to like a 50-pound cannonball, kettlebell, as I'm throwing it to the top of me, to the bottom of me, to the top of me again. And somehow my grip is like, I'm good. We're okay. Frost damage again. Lone Singer says, I'll tell you about it next Saturday, if you want to hear about it, but this is the anime I'm gonna need to mentally process and recover from, cause, let's just say, I've watched a fair share of horror/thriller anime. Higurashi, for example, watching that was fine after it, but this anime, Happy Sugar Life, has felt disturbing when I finished it. Okay, well, that's not great. So it's like, yeah, the one that has like tons of visceral blood and horror, this one is leaving you kind of emotionally offset. That's not ideal. That seems like a big old skip for your boy. Victory/resonance. If I can trade moon, what does that mean? Han says, I can trade a lot of money. Geez, that's plenty of things. Num says, bonus points if you slurp it right next to the mic. What? It doesn't sound. Also, why am I hiding from you guys? I had to start the stream fast. Okay. There we go. Slightly lowered. Oh, my neck. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Man, my sinuses have been in a whole way of it. All right, this. Hey, remember that time. Go team. Ba 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 ba. Fluff says, all right, time with that. Fluff says, Wendy's is definitely some of my favorite fast food. Arby's too. Never tried Arby's. I don't think. Well, I'm not a big like restaurant. If I have to go in there, I'm not sure if I'm in. You know, I want to eat it in a tiny corner because I'm like, hey, you fast food. Yeah. Also, I don't know. I'm not sure if I enjoy the atmosphere of hearing everything around me all the time. It's like, to me, I could literally. I've talked to you guys about this beforehand, but I don't know if there's a graph of like severity of like introversion, or if there's a good argument for like introversion doesn't exist and it's just a mental thing. I tend to think that's not the case because I've been able. I would rather like do extraneous exercise than be in like a room for 4 hours with a ton of people. But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if there's a barometer on how spent you become based on an environment, and if it's like maybe it's a determining factor of stress. Maybe you're like perceiving somebody judging you, and that's requiring you to do that. But I don't think I feel that. Like I can be like just completely control my heart rate, drop myself into a nice calm state. I still feel like I'm like, oh fuck. At the end of the day, at the end of the encounter, I'm like, oh god, I'm just spent. So. I wonder if there is a severity of introversion. I wonder where I'd be on it. I feel like it'd be pretty fucking bad. I feel like it'd be pretty in the red. But maybe just my head, Because again, I like being around people. It's just that I find myself exhausted. I find myself also passively being like, ooh, a gathering of a ton of people. That sounds fun, but man, my body's like, that sounds like a lot of expenditure of energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. Ba, 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 ba. This. Good. Lone Singer says, but moving on to more happy anime. Watch Spy Family. It helps like balance you out. Watch Spy Family, episode 6, and it's my favorite episode. It's got to be hard to top. It's mainly because of two scenes that happened in the episode. I just seen Funimation upload one clip where he's like putting on like a mask, and he's tying his mask up or something, which looked pretty cute. I have no idea what the context is, but I'm like, this looks fun, you know. Fluff says, didn't get very far before stream started, but I did get into Yakuza 0, finally. Will definitely require a lot more focus since it's Japanese with subtitles. Pretty sure only 7, and like the Dragon has an English VOA option. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've always noticed people play those Yakuza games with Japanese subtitles. But that may just be like, kind of the subsect of, weebs that are like, if the original source material is, is said in this way, and I don't mind reading a ton, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it seems like inefficient. There's, my nose is, I don't know what it is. Whenever I start streaming, my nose gets like blocked. My sinuses start like getting all crazy. Still nothing. Oh, by the way, you sons of bitches. You thought you could get away from it because you thought I forgot. I forgot to do my book / explain my stupid thing I'm learning about kind of thing. Well, you might be right, actually, because I was thinking, all right, let's do it now. And then I was like, I feel like I have a little bit of heat stroke as well as just kind of fucking fuzzy. One thing I did learn that I thought was pretty interesting in the book, I'm not sure if it's valuable in any way, but it was a cool example about it basically was like one of the questions that they were trying to answer at some point within some subsect of the principle versus the whatever was basically, how do you solve kind of like the racist / the judgment of others in a way that could help with less, racist stereotyping or / just race. How do you solve racism, especially within schools? So, like, is there a way to make it so the kids have a higher probability to not grow up with being, like, hateful of a certain race or ethnicity? So these researchers basically, one of the things that they thought would work, that a lot of schools were doing, was basically just take a bunch of, whatever ethnicity you want and put them all together in a class. But unless the ethnicity was basically taught in the same exact way as from like young to current, there's usually an information change of pace, essentially. So the reason why that's bad, apparently, in the book, which I thought was really interesting, was people think, oh, you just put a bunch of people together, it should work out. But what they found in the book is competitive nature kind of started to devour others' perception of people. So if you're in a classroom setting, the teacher points at you and says, hey, Bobby, here's a question. And of course, there's always the kids that there's hands shoot up. And then there's always the kids that feel like they retreat back into their skin because they don't know the answer and the other kids do. And they make a good argument for, even passively, a teacher figure or a person who is marking your future in a way, which is a teacher. You want to have the answers. You want to be good enough. And you see this within classic school baseline foundation, which is basically people have resentment. So the kids who are able to raise their hand and constantly the first to ask, a lot of times, various kids, regardless of ethnicity, will basically vilify those kids and call them nerds, teacher's pet, try hard, things like this, and then vice versa. The smart kids will call the other kids dumb, lazy, whatever. So there's this like I can't say the word. This ostracizing of each other. But in a way, this doesn't make anyone less in fact increases the hatred for the other. Given there's weird, again, it's based on their learning patterns of the person when they're young to when they're older. So if certain people or certain races weren't given the liberties of daycares that were teaching in the right way and all these helpful things, then that could be an effect that would make people have a less of a desire to lift their hand up or stuff like that. Culture could also be a part of it. Doesn't matter. Regardless, the question still remains. This is not a great way to do it. They didn't find any sort of bend in the wheel. You just throw a bunch of people into a melting pot. Doesn't exactly work in terms of decreasing quote-unquote prejudice. But they did find that prejudice actually was kind of like a little bit less specific. It was just kind of like, hey, the nerds versus the the people who are not very into school or whatever. But then what do you call it? The question still remains. Well, how? What is the right way to do this? Is this something that we should pursue, of like trying to make it so that kids are less resentful or hateful of a group based on nothing besides the race that they are? And what they found was there's a researcher that basically they ran a camp, like a after school kind of camp, and what they did is they ended up making one cabin of boys, Camp Alpha or something, or Camp Centuro or whatever it was. Regardless, one of them was heavily weighted to an ethnicity and the other one wasn't. And of course, just through doing competition, they found that this got really bad. So competition, there's something about competition that makes people like kind of cruel, like us against them kind of meta, which makes sense. So they ended up having these various competitions. It would only accelerate, or even just giving them the name of like, this is your cabin, this is their cabin. It made people act in a very weird way, where people started to like if the other cabin started doing well, the other cabin would start talking shit and devaluing what they've done. But then they ended up doing competitions. This radicalized the outcomes massively, to where no longer was it just them having frustration with them, but instead it was them like grabbing their cabin's like flag and burning it, or stealing their shit, or like just starting food fights or bullying them to some extent, both on either side. Regardless of the ethnic group I'm talking about. But the thing that was fun is that the researchers were like, okay, we got a lot of information. Let's see if we can like rear it back now. And for a long time, they were ready to basically throw in the towel and say that they did a Frankenstein, which is basically just a good way of saying that they've caused a problem, but they have no idea how to revert it. So they're like, fuck it. They're about to be like, all right, well, we know what causes negativity. We have no idea how to recede negativity. So anyways, what they ended up doing was after attempt to see if they could get these boys, which were racially segregated, to work together, they found that the one thing that was the commonality that actually had these young kids who were experiencing these judgment calls, it starts with like, Billy's faster than me, I feel insufficient, fuck him, he's a douche, Billy's fat, Billy's gross, and Billy's blah, and then it starts to develop in this racist way. But what they found was that if you ended up having the kids work together on something in which they would need the help of the other to succeed, then things started to dissolve, which makes sense through like a human way. So they got the thing where they their car broke down in the middle of like going to a river. And all the boys were in the same kind of bus or something. So then they said, the only way that we can get to the river is if you guys help push the car. So all of them, both camps, came together and pushed the car. And then there was various things like they were like, hey, we're not going to have enough money to watch this special DVD movie because we don't have enough money to do it. But then both boys from both of the camps said, okay, well, if we aggregate our money together, we'll have enough. And of course, they all watched the movie together because they both all contributed to the same source together. So it's this like cooperation is the thing, not competition. Competition is seemingly really rough when it comes to like alienation of the other. But cooperation, if you can get two sides to genuinely have a vested interest, if you succeed, I succeed, and if you help me, I'll help you. It dissolves the envy, the corrosion, the perspective of like, this person is bad or better than me, so therefore I'm frustrated and I'm gonna lash out. So it dissolved everything. At the end of the camp, they were successfully able to recede all of the kind of damage that they did. And a lot of the boys at the beginning of the camp said that these were my friends. Then at the end of the camp, they said that actually, I'm happy you guys giving me the chance to do this again. And they wrote that like this person from the other cabin was their friend, and that they thought they were awesome, and etc. So I thought it was a really cool test case. The reason why I think it's relevant to the psychology of how human beings kind of react in an automatic kind of way was, what was the way again? There was so much there. I think it's how to get people to like you, I think, is one of the things. So the case study for the book is basically this guy who has like incredible sales. He's in like the Guinness World Record for sales. And they were trying to find out how the hell he was so good. So they started finding out and asking him questions. And one of the things he talked about, which is if you can make your person you're selling to give them a fair price and they like you, then they'll buy from you. That was his whole thing. So then the question became, okay, then how the fuck do you get people to like you? And then, of course, this is what like behavioral psychologists have been trying to find out since the beginning of time. But a lot of stuff, they come up to the reason of like looks play some part. Like apparently, if somebody is in like, and people don't know this. So this is the fun thing about this kind of book and this idea of behavioral psychology. But a lot of time when I say stuff, I think a lot of people are like, not me though. But that's the point, is that it's your perception of yourself would put yourself in a camp of like, I wouldn't fall for it, but subconsciously you probably will. There's a high probability that you will. So one of the things is, what was it? It made me laugh. One of the things was, regardless of what you will perceive, good looks, or what people would consider to be handsome people, are perceived not only to be more smart, but are also perceived to be more charming. They're also perceived to be just everything. Like it's literally stacked. Like it's stacked really hard. What's good, Luca? Luca says, what's good? First, I'll read in a minute. Everyone's commenting things. I just wanted to finish this train of thought. But but it was one of those things where people were like one of the things that they tested was people. You have like a bunch of diplomatic candidates essentially, and they found that consistently people would always choose, or not always, but very high probability that they would always choose the one that looks better. But when confronted with the fact that like all of their choices were the fact, like with people who were kind of good looking, they would be detested by that idea. Like, no, of course I didn't pick them just because of that. But it was just like all of these people had that same proclivity. And saying because people, when you see people, and they of course take one step back and they say it's not just about like people who are pretty, it's about people who are hygienic, that shave, that look together. And I think it's like beauty is not just bone structure, it's also the way you manage yourself. You know, if somebody looks like a schlub, there's good odds that person would not be someone you'd want to lead you, because they're not even capable of taking care of themselves. Now, is that wrong? Yeah, because people can have a greater affinity to taking care of others than themselves. But it's still just a huge thing of like, it's kind of a sad, like this idea of beauty being a huge measurement of even people who would otherwise say that like, nah, I could see a beautiful person maybe being more charming, but not more intelligent. But they found that teachers, and it was a really weird part of the book, but they were basically, it was like, teachers, when polled against kids that are considered like attractive or something, and I was like, what the fuck? This is a weird way to phrase this study. I mean, I get what they're saying, but still, a kid that had a higher bone structure, was looking clean, etc. Teachers perceived as smarter on average. But anyways, there's a bunch of stuff like that in the book. But I forget what the one thing was tied to. The one with like the I think, that was it. How to get people to like you, essentially, because that would increase the probability of somebody buying something from you, because there's the salesman who said that. And then one of the things that they came to is how do you make people want to like you? And one of those ways is cooperation, essentially. So like with the kids is how you reduce judgment, etc. Also, people are that much more likely. Okay, so there's another gateway to the like pretty people are given an advantage kind of idea. But it's not just pretty people. It's not even pretty people. That's a way people can phrase it. But it's also people that look like you, people who are the same as you. You have a higher probability to consider to like them or to pick them in some regard, because they, in a sense, are you. And yeah, that was one of the parts of the book. I wish I could make a better full round like thing of it, but to be honest, the chapter that I'm telling you guys about, I was just listening to today. I wasn't writing down, wasn't making notes, I wasn't like calcifying within my mind. But yeah, just again, check that off the list. I explained a part of my book. Have I ever 100% reflected on it? 100% know exactly the intricacies of it? No, because I just listened to it a minute ago. Okay. Normally, I like to think about this, how this could apply in my real life, and how I've seen examples of this actually be true. I haven't done that yet. Although, just thinking about it really quick, to me, none of it sounds so alien that I haven't seen examples of it within my daily life. I just thought I've always heard people say like pretty people have it easy or something like that, and I always think that could be narcissism or ego. Or resentment, kind of feeling that thing. But it's funny that people would determine themselves to not believe or act in that accordance. But then if you actually study their actions, given tests, they do. They just are not aware that they're doing it, So it's like, fuck, am I one of those people? Probably I am. Probably, yeah. Yeah, but but also, it tends to be of things you don't have a greater understanding of. That's one of the things the book makes apparent as well, is if you have a great understanding of like the subject matter that you're trying to get something from, you're not going to get weird, you're not going to get fucked over. So say if you're really knowledgeable about vehicles, it'd be really hard for a salesman to like fuck you over in any way or sell you something that doesn't really matter if you had a very good understanding of cars. But if you had no interest and you were kind of like, I'm just trying to kind of figure out, I'm just trying not to get conned, in a way you're even more susceptible to being conned in a way, or being manipulated into believing that you're getting a good deal. Anyways, weird recap of what I'm currently reading aside. Thank you for letting me do that, ladies and gentlemen. It always helps calcify. God damn you, it's so close. It always helps calcify the information in my head. It's like a classic Harvard weird like thing that they talked about, which is the behavioral thing of memory, which is basically if you can explain something to someone else, that drastically helps imprint the knowledge deeper within your mind. But anyways, this. All right, time to look at my chat. What did you think about what was said? Probably nothing, because I did a poor job. I did a great job of explaining it, me. You did a great job. Okay, great job. Lone Singit says the last 5 episodes, that is episode 5, and let's just say it is very wholesome. It looks very cute, Lone. I can't wait to watch that show. As soon as it finishes, yell at me. Dub-wise, please. Fluff says Yakuza games, at least the oldest ones, have a lot of text, voiced or not. Oh, I see. Along with full cinematics, semi-motion cinematic style cutscenes, and the like. I always turned subtitles on. But because of the language I don't know that well will make it tougher to follow along, since I tend to have something going in the background, but I can always get the story summarized and such afterwards. I just want to finally play through the series myself. Interesting, Fluff. I've never found myself to have that proclivity, but it's cool to see that you do, man. That's an interesting trait. But yeah, for me, like after I experienced Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas or whatnot, I had never had the urge to go back. In fact, I kind of had I'm gonna get less, Especially considering I didn't hear anything, but people were like, Fallout 1 was the best. I didn't hear much of that. So maybe if I did, I would have, but I still feel like my proclivity is let's go forward. Worst case scenario, the old one is better, and now I'm stuck. Lucas says, hello there. I see you've got no one to raid today. How are you doing, Grinn? Dude, we didn't have anyone to raid yesterday, man. It was a pain in my ass, Luca. We didn't have anybody. Also, I don't know, man. Sometimes, Luca, maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm a McDouche. All right, probably. But I sometimes feel like when we raid someone in a day, I feel like, when you're about to say something, you're like, this is not going to sound great. Maybe I'm probably making it worse by pre-gaming you like this. All the behavioral psychology shit makes me aware of that's not great. When you're like, this is actually going to be a really hot, spicy take, and then you say something, there's a higher probability of people just being like, oh, that's actually fucked up, or something. Anyways. But I don't know, man. There's something a little bit and maybe this is wrong, but there's something a little bit weird when I raid someone, and I just feel like they're like, thanks, and then they just tune and they go back. And I'm like, but to me, maybe it's just like it's like an equilibrium where like I feel like when someone raids me, I'm blown away. I'm shocked. I can't even believe we were given the opportunity. What kind of wholesome weirdness are we? Is this even allowed? Kind of thing. And maybe that's too much. Maybe that like makes people feel like, oh God, what a creep. It's too much. You know, maybe it's best to be calm, cool, collect. That ain't me. I can't be that. But yes. Let me give me a second. Give me a second to do that. But yeah, the last couple times we've done that, I feel like people have been like, oh, all right. Thank you. How was your night? And then I'm like, I don't want to talk, man. I'm about to end my stream. I just wanted to send my people to someone who cared. And it seemed like you didn't ask my people how they were, you know, and actually care. You were doing something, as most streamers do, and they're kind of just constantly playing the game, and that's like their main thing. Luke is fucking amazing at this, by the way. Luke is constantly like, hey guys, what's happening? How are you doing? What's going on with you? Like fucking last time, I seen it, you motherfucker. I seen that you were playing that Paragon kind of boot up game beta thing, and then you were talking fluff up. You were talking fluff up for hours, and Fluff was talking you up, and it was great. All right, I love seeing that. That's what I want deeply, not like from like me. I'm talking about like that's what I like to see. All right, that's a person that's like, I got this shit. I'm gonna make you care even a little bit. And I oftentimes feel like people are just, yeah. Also, we rate a staggeringly high amount of women. Okay, so it's not to say that we're wrong with women, but just to say, Flesh says, I'd also like to play a current 2 Judgment games, since that's what the original gameplay loop is being transitioned to, while 7 onward is planned to continue as a turn-based RPG instead of action brawler. This is Lucas says, hello there. I read that. Lone Singer says, but Grinn, how are you today, my friend? Hope your day was going productive. No, dude, I've been in constant movement this whole day. We finished the giant semi-truck that we were working on. We have it all put out with, there's a decal all over it. It's all wrapped. But it was cooking in that shop, man. Again, heat stroke still feels like permeated. Stefan says, phew, power walked, tired now. Yeah, don't fucking win yourself, man. You know what? That's fucked up though, Stefan. I agree with that statement. I can like, I'll be out here working out, exercising my ass off. But if I just like go from like sitting down to like a brisk run up the round, etc., and like keep pace, that'll take it out of me. It takes me a while to get my breath in order. Also doesn't help that like you're kind of talking, which is usually what happens when I'm filming a Try Not to Grin or something. You know. Lucas says, I was sleeping yesterday. Give me a day off. You can take as many days as you want off, Luca. Also, I see you streaming a little bit early some days, Luca. Well, it probably is like normal time for you. For me, it's early. Lone Singer says, I will indeed yell at you as soon as it's finished. I can't wait. Yes, I cannot wait. Because I want to see how this plays out, but also so you can experience it too. And the best part, after the first core is done, we are getting another core after they take a break. We're another season. That makes sense, man. I love to see that shit. I love to see when they're like, people like it. We're hitting the ground running. It always pisses me off where like a show is killing it. There's so much source material. There's so much hype. And then the people were like, yeah, but we have other commitments, so we can't. I'm like, just hire a bunch of people. Like, the show's probably paid well, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like momentum just destroyed, just completely lost. I'm like, come on, man. You just hire somebody to try to maintain the momentum, you know? Make some OVAs, but that takes too long. I don't think it really does the job. Man, we are in the trenches. Melee damage. We just keep getting like melee damage. See, this is the hell loop of enchantments where I just feel like we're in a constant state of like no, and no again. And needless to say, it feels bad. It's like can weapons spawn with this enchantment and then you start talking to yourself like you're senile old man, like it can't exist. I'm fighting for something that is impossible. Lone Syndicate says, I will indeed, or I read that. Lucas says, yes, I usually react depending on the moment, meaning that if I'm pooping my pants on a horror stream. I don't focus so much on the raids. Well, yeah, but my whole point is that, like, eventually I would be shocked. I don't think I've ever raided you, Luca, once, where you've not, like, even if you're shitting your pants in a raid, when you eventually click in and that there's a raid, you're like, oh, shit. Let's go, baby. It's time to try to charm some people and to try to take care of some new friends. Yeah, I mean, like, to me, and maybe it's just personalities. Maybe some people are like, maybe I'm chill. I'm just having fun playing Minecraft. What do you want from me? You know, this is who I am. You know, but for me, part of me is like, people give me the time of day. Okay. Let's try to do my best, you know? I talk nonstop, you know that. Hell yeah, Luca. I like it. I like it a lot. This and this. Did we reset? We did. Lightning damage. Ability damage. Melee damage. More spell damage. Elemental. And that's it. God, I wish I had more moon ore. Let's get rid of this. And jump over here. Oh, I need to do my stretches, dude. My whole body feels like it's like tight, painful. Lucas says, I'm more sorry that I didn't get to see your stream often because of It's okay, Luca. I still consider you one of my absolute units of people in the content creation space. Also, Luca, I got a video coming out about Deathverse tomorrow, I think. And it's I'm not sure if you've seen the weird gameplay / the sequencing of Deathverse, but it looks interesting. I will say the one thing that like makes me like really excited for it. Not really excited. It's just a cool idea. But I've always seen the like in Bloodborne, there's the when an enemy takes your health, there's like a moment where you can be aggressive and like reclaim lost ground, reclaim your health. Well, in Deathverse, there's a thing called voltage, and when you get hit, you basically can you heal through contact. So when you hit someone with your melee weapon, you can start repairing yourself. So I like the idea of like, it's not like Bloodborne where you're just going to be able to like gain the lost health that was taken from you. No, you literally heal. So to me, I thought that would be a really cool way of that they could do with the battle royale or the arena-like thing, where you could look at one melee weapon that you're good with and basically take down the enemy that has a weirder melee weapon that maybe your weapon isn't so good at sequencing around, and then hunt weapons that you know you can beat because of whatever, right? And kind of use that as like an algorithm to be like, okay, I'm gonna take a loss here, but I'll run away, because there's also like an upgraded movement system in the game where you can like scurry up walls and like basically climb up like poles and shit. So there's a way of like leaving combat. Anyways, so that to me seems like a really cool idea of sequencing, of like, okay, I can take on these enemies, and then I can scurry away, and then I could go eat a mushroom, and it'll give me some more health, and then I'll do this damage encounter with the weapon that I'm 100% sure I can nuke, and then scurry back to the enemy that has the weapon that's not so good for the weapon that I'm currently using, you know? So I thought that was neat. If none of this makes sense, there's a video coming out tomorrow, which will show gameplay of actually what I'm talking about. But that will be on Grinn channel, okay? Just to let you guys know, because that is where we put our, like, I don't know where to put this. And I vomited on the Grinn channel, which is also our stream archive channel. / streaming channel. Little bit confusing. You know, whatever. Axiom says, have you played any Final Fantasy games? I want to, Axiom, but they're too big for me to, any game I'm playing, I don't have enough efficiency, I should say. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day we'll just use streams as kind of a way to have fun in other video games. But right now we're kind of like, with just the nature of Wonderlands, there's like a very, I find like it's even more relevant, the idea of like, I don't have time to play the game that I'm not also making content for. So yeah, for me, like, as much as I want to play a bunch of games, I have to also, it's like really hard for me to take my excess time and to play a game and then to play another game, whereas I always feel like more brevity and like calmness by playing a video game and also like watching a TV show or watching some YouTube channels, because it's not, playing a game on top of a game kind of makes me feel like I'm gonna burn out on the video games as a whole. Whereas if I play a video game, watch some anime. If I play a video game, do YouTube, watch a TV show or something, or something like that, or watch YouTube. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. helps keep me sane, I guess. Keeps things feeling fresh in a sense. But how about you, Axum? Are you in the one Final Fantasy game that I wanted to play was that weird emo one with a bunch of dudes who like are just hanging out. Yeah, that one seemed pretty dope. That one seemed neat, albeit like a lot. But also, yeah. But the new Final Fantasy that's coming out looks interesting. That might be just a fun stream. But again, none of them are really like games that kind of are consistently updated. They're all beefy. But yeah, like to me, that's also a little bit of I don't know, maybe. Sorry, it's a little bit of a fear for me to like get into a game, and then for it to kind of be like, oh, there's clearly like a done point to the game, you know? And maybe that's not as bad, but yeah. Now, it says we be raiding a lot of VTubers as of late too. Yeah, it's true. But that's also the thing. Everybody VTuber. It's too good of a deal to pass up. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be like, hey, what if I could tell you could have it all? You could become a beautiful avatar, whichever your little heart desires, given you have the money. But who's to say that doesn't come with time and like, you know, fucking thirsty people out here. Yeah. But then also you can say some crazy shit. You could be like you can have a racist moment if you want and like just be like, well, that fucked up. Delete the avatar, reset all of it, put a little bit of voice changer on that bitch. You're cooking. Okay, it's too good of a deal. So everybody, when I see a person who's not a VTuber right now, I'm like, what are you doing? What is happening? You can look however you want. You could look like a Giga Chad, all right? You could look like a fucking all of them. So to me, I'm just sitting here like, why are you playing Twitch on hard mode, all right? What is your problem? Okay. Don't look at me. Also, Also, I think yeah, I gotta hit the right buttons. There we go. Paste there. Now we're good. And of course, like I have kid. Like just because you have an avatar doesn't mean you're entertaining or strategic in what you're playing, and given people's interest in what you're playing, and like investing in something that will feed you or get people to look at you for a hot minute and see if you can capture their attention within that hot minute. But yeah, so it's not just VTuber doesn't get you success, but it does give you a lot of ways around identity, potential people judging you as a person. Again. I do my best to not like. I'm getting worse at it. I'm getting really worse at it as I get older. But I'm starting to like care less, and I think that's not as like a content, but as like a. I've talked to you guys about this beforehand, but I want to be honest. I like being honest because I feel like if you live your life in an honest way, you'll eventually be a person who kind of lives through truth, and you also get good at not being a dickhead because you'll have to find ways to phrase things in such a way that people can understand where you're coming from. And not just, be a douche all the time, But I also understand that, like, again, if I say something and sometimes I say stuff that's not exactly, the most mindful thing to say. And of course, I'm always like, oh, well, this could be taken out of context or anything like that. And I'm like, oh, well, this could be bad. But again, I fully accept that could be an outcome. The whole cancel culture to me would never stop me from, pursuing creating content, I suppose. But again, the free scapegoat of being like, hey, here's an avatar. Hey, I don't have to shave my beard. I don't have to make sure my hair's okay. I don't have to do any of this shit. I don't have to make sure I'm smiling constantly. Well, that's not true. You kind of have to hyper animate, I think, your face in order to get the model doing stuff that you want. And yeah, granted, yeah, well, I still, like, yes, the VTuber market is kind of flush with things. I don't know if it's so flush that it makes it so that it's not still like again, it's still at the very bare minimum. You're still getting like the ambiguity or whatever it's called. I don't ever think I say that word right. Ambiguity? No, something. I think "guity" is the wrong. It's amazing. Also, we're close to dropping a save file. If anyone pops in when it comes 6 p.m., we're gonna stop what we're doing and we're gonna drop that save file. That melee, the wizard, the one where yeah. Anything. I'm catching up on my chat. Lone Singing says, no, not another season, Grinn. Another core. It's a bit different. It's all one season, but it's a plan to be double core, which is 24. Yeah, same thing as the realist hero. Yeah. But that to me is weird because it's like It's just another season. It's literally like another 12 episodes or some shit. What? Okay, I guess. But yeah. It's better when someone is double core because that means it's planned to happen a few months after the first core. After a season, it can take a year or two, or yeah, okay, maybe that's what it is. Okay. Lucas says, by the way, I'm listening, Grinn, but I'm in game. Yeah, no, it's all good, man. You enjoy your vid game, have fun. It does, but I give a walk this PS. I don't know. Is there a PC? What? Fluff says, huh? Just had a bad egg drop from a featured chaos chamber run via Nightmare. Weird. Maybe there's like a base slow, like a very low world drop. Lone Syndicate says, that sounds so cool. I know, I cannot wait to see the video. Yeah, well, the video's got you gotta wait to the end to get some of the gameplay. Maybe that's not the best choice, but it is kind of like a whole narrative experience because I'm condensing 4 videos that are basically senpai deaths, the developer team essentially being goofy, which is fun, very fun. I'll link you guys to the whole series of dev updates, diaries, things, because not a lot of people know about dev Uncle Death's channel, Senpai Death's channel on YouTube. Fluff says, I guess that might finally fix the bad egg drop pool. Okay. Stefan says, would you be doing concert? Yes. Any drops. As long as you send me a friend request, which is over here. That's my Epic game. Send me a request, friend request, and I'll be dropping shit for you. XV with pretty emo. Yeah, man. Axiom says, the weird emo one? Yeah, the one. It's like a bunch of dudes. It looks like a K-pop punk emo band. You know what I'm saying? You know what the fuck I'm saying. Don't pretend. Fluff says Final Fantasy 16 should be pretty great. Might be coming this year or early next year. Final Fantasy 15, I enjoyed a lot, but I never went through the Royal Edition DLC. God, you're a completionist, Fluff. Golly. Low Singer says, yeah, that's one he's referring to Final Fantasy. Yes. Low Singer says, Grinn VTuber debut when? Dude, I don't know, man. To me, yeah, Fluff makes, there it is. Fluff exactly. Bang. Fluff. Boosh. Fluff says, yeah, a simple answer as to why not VTube, because it's heavy investment if you think your $2,000 PC is expensive. High quality VTuber avatars, yeah, 4,000. No, but that's my thing, Fluff, is I don't even think you need a high quality VTuber thing. I think you literally just need, there's like programs right now where you can just get blonde boy with hair, like any color hair you want. I guess blonde boy don't really work, but anyways, like an anime character which mouth moves and tracks. It's not like, but that's my thing. It's like I think you could still get the like ambiguity of the internet. Also, I think given your search, I think just like what is it called? I think it's quality assurance essentially. So yes, there are like the big hitter, 3D model makers, etc. But I also could see there being a Fiverr version of it. Granted, yes, you're still probably paying like $500 to $1,000. I don't know. I wouldn't see $1,000. Yeah, because I just think that like I hate to say it, but there's probably a person who has the same skill set as 3D modeling in that that is in a country that would determine that $1,000 or $2,000 would be way too much. Like, yeah, or would be overly amount. But yeah. But my whole point is that I think there are like a lot of people in our community were like Ashley was a great example. Ashley was able to get an avatar going, basically, so I think it's like you want to have like this super unique, like I think 4,000 to 2,000 is like a customized thing, because I definitely know that when people were getting into VTubing, I don't think their first models were $2,000. I think it was a lot more. Like I think Iron Mouse's was actually not even that. I think it was like a program that she used, and that was enough to kind of get things cooking, but it's just something to have an avatar, I don't think there's an argument for quality, but I still think the argument stands for if you want to get into this, that you could have the ambiguity that you want and still have a character that people could find enjoyment from. Now, again, I think the Fiverr one, I think the first initial response is that like, oh, it would be shit, but I think it'd be shit. Man, a lot of Fiverr stuff is incredible. Like it's just a determining factor of Fiverr has the infrastructure basically to give people who are in different economic dollar amounts based on country, the amount that like would essentially be $2,000 here would be that and then some in their current place, but even less for us. Some would say that's maybe wrong or better, who knows. It's a whole thing. I think everyone's wearing like clothes and everything that's worn by, people who are fucked up or like getting fucked up by other people. So I don't know if that's where we should start. It's the Fiverr thing. Axiom says, I enjoy Final Fantasy 15, but it wasn't as good as some of the previous FF games. Stefan says 4,000, holy hell. Yeah, I don't know, 4,000, I think that's the highest end now. Yeah, and that is with like some of the craziest customization things you've ever seen. But I would put it, maybe not now, maybe now it's still coveted, but I think within short time, I think it'll be Fiverr essentially, which is people being like, how much are they making? I'll learn how to do this. Also, I feel like it would eventually, you'd have a baseline model, especially for Fiverr, who's just trying to augment a couple things and then pushing along its merry way, Axiom says, I enjoy Final Fantasy 15. All right, I read that previously. Stefan says 4,000, holy crazy. Fluff says 15 was my favorite, probably followed by getting through the realm. I'm trying to lose my chat. Axiom says, right now I'm playing Final Fantasy. I'm pulling my hair out trying to make a build that can carry me through the game. Yeah, man, I see a lot of people struggle with some of those Final Fantasy games. I probably would be not anywhere better. I hate the like time-based, now you get to attack, now he gets to attack. I hate it. I like reaction-based stuff, Axiom says, it's probably the only second Final Fantasy I will ever participate in due to the date of the gameplay. Yeah, it feels a little old, which is part of the takes a long time to actually start a Yakuza series, with 7 being the JRPG. Okay. Stefan says, I like the Tales series of JRPGs. Okay, Tales of like the Tales of like the Borderlands, stuff like that. Is that what you mean, Stefan? Oh, no, he's Tales of Arise. Gotcha. I also need to get back and finish Tales of Arise. Yeah. Tales of Arise was very fun. I wish I could go back and beat it. But I don't have enough time before 3 of my personal addictive game release came out. So at least try to just do Yakuza. Don't get too overwhelmed. Stefan says that was pretty decent. I was surprised. A few previous were disappointing. Arise, that is. Oh, I see. Yeah. Arise to me was awesome. Very fun. I thought, to me, it was weird, like, battle starts, here's an arena, now you're in an arena, and you're like, okay, it was a little weird, but the combat seemed like it was, I've never seen something like it, which was fun, and it worked, I think. You think the bad egg got fixed with the hotfix stuff? Yeah, I can see that, some sort of weird underground thing happening. Completed, definitely not. But I've left far too many games incomplete, and I like to change. No, completionist maybe is the wrong word. You're right. To me, it's just like you have a perspective of like, yeah, I'm gonna go back and like do like honor the. Yeah, I think you have like this perspective of honor on in video games. Like, oh, I would like instead of just starting here, I'm gonna go all the way to the beginning, and even though I may not have the best time, I can always just drop the game when I'm not having a good time, and then go to the next one. Which to me, I wouldn't have. I would just be like, I'm here, I'm going for it. And maybe if I loved it to bits, then I would go back. If I was like head over heels, and even then, I don't know. I think I'd always just find another thing I'd love that's current to move forward. Plus it's weird jumping into a long story. Yes, 8+ games. Jesus. Stefan says the story has been good enough to keep me engaged. I didn't finish. Axiom says true. Has anyone else here in the chat played Final Fantasy XIII? Fluff says, right, I didn't say the VTuber avatar was impossible. There are just some inexpensive options though. Yeah, that was my only perspective. Was that like I hear a lot of people put up that like VTuber models are like $2,000. And I think that's a kind of a, I don't know. I think it's kind of I'll be honest. I think it's scummy. To me it seems like they're like, don't come into my space, when it's like, well, like it's the same argument for people being like this camera is like $400 or something, and then people being like, fuck that, I can't afford that. But it's like, dude, you could just get a shit camera and just you don't even need a camera, but you could just get a basic camera and just be like, hey, so I don't like the idea of like people being like, it's so much money. It's like, things are as cheap as you want to have it, essentially, And not always quality is the thing that determines that. Sometimes, again, like there's a lot of channels out there that are specific in being like, hey, this camera is the best for the dollar amount, and that camera is excessive because it's meant for like world-class photographers. And these streamers are literally using it for, which is the base, which is good, but shit. I said, hell, I've a face rig and can use that if I wanted to start streaming. With an avatar, some of the current HoloLive talent got started with such, too, including one of my favorite, the humble start as the face rig cat avatar. Oh, yeah, man, I seen the thing, which I think is the idea. Like, to me, I think it's like a part of it is the idea of like, if you are piloting this this personality, this avatar in a sense. I think that's a big thing. I think it's like that's the metric that people see. So if you're able to be a personality and make that cat or whatever, or that like very basic model, if you're able to make that things funny, you're able to give them a character, soul, whatever you want to call it, then I think people will be like, okay, I like this as is. Imagine if this got better. And then of course, I like a lot of VTubers also have that like the counter, like that some people say like, I'm trying to work towards a gaming PC, but they're like, no, I'm trying to work towards this model, and they're like one donation at a time getting there, which I think is good if your person's actually talented, you know. I think it's a good business thing too, to kind of like be like, hey, this is literally just a better product for you. Hopefully. Love says, and I also have a reference sheet that could be adapted into a VTuber avatar at some point. There's not that many furry VTubers out there. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's quite the market. Also, I wonder if there'd be a needless. I feel like it'd be both love, like you would get an immediate surge of popularity from the community, but I also feel like you would get an unreasonable amount of toxicity, unfortunately, which I think would be unfortunate. But yes. Linsky says, Tales of Arise, I will one day finish it. You'll have to let me know. You have to let me know how it be. Also, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to tell me if you want me to drop anything for you, and I will immediately stop what I'm doing, and we'll get done that. Like, yeah, someone was like, hey, we're doing consoles today? I'm like, yes. So please, send me a friend request, and then let me know we're doing it. We still got nothing. Goddamn spell critical. I don't know what it is. I see the same one 50 times, and I think the game is just broken, you know? And we're done. And we're done just like that. Fluff says, definitely want to finish the playthrough of Skyrim someday, probably before Starfield and TS2 comes out. What do you call it? On the topic of that, Fluff, for this is a test if you guys know me really well. Guess what the one thing I never did in Skyrim. Knowing me and how I can't play, I love games to bits. I love Fable, I love Infamous, but when it comes to the evil ending, I can't do it, even though I could try. So, what was the one quest line that I never did in Skyrim? Let's see. Fluff says, I'm at least setting the finished, you're settled on finishing Yakuza, and it's one of the most recent entries, most polished, before Yakuza 7. All right, changes the format. Gotcha. Yeah, I hope man, it's always nice to have a goal and be like, done. Satisfaction. Fluff says, I can also get my start as an PNG tuber, as they, yeah, it's true, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah, there's like a little bopping, like kind of little tiny image bopping around. Stefan says, my daughter wants to start streaming. I would say the VTuber route is something, man, but also, I feel like, it is just fun. I don't know how to phrase it. I guess you should do it, but also I would make sure you're I feel like one of the things that's always good is to talk about the person and like understand all of the various paths that lay before you. You know what I mean? So like to understand like why you want to do this? Do you think it'd be fun? Okay, you want to try it? Sure. What have you thought about the outcome that is someone coming in your chat and being cruel? Can you think of how that would happen, and would you be able to handle it appropriately? And then sometimes they're like if you put yourself in a situation where someone's in your chat just screaming at you, what do? I would just ban them. Okay, you wouldn't think about their negative words after? No. Or maybe, but I still want to try. You're like, okay, as long as you've considered the negative outcomes and you can maybe give it even a little bit more thought to what you would do when you're encountering those outcomes. I think that's where we start to get good. That's where we're like, okay, I think you genuinely have thought this through. Whereas I think a lot of people will be like, that looks fun, let me try it, and not realize that there's actually like a feedback loop that could be somewhat toxic and bad, you know? But otherwise, I would say let them try it, absolutely. I think at the very like baseline, it will give you communication skills and get you better at talking to people. Granted, if I could talk to my old self, if my old self that wanted to get into YouTube, I would be like, it's good to want to do this for fun, but it's even better to understand what you're doing. Okay, I would tell myself that sooner rather than later. But also at the time, I think myself would be like, I just want to have fun and make fun content. And my current self would be like, you know what's really fun? Nailing it, hitting the mark or something. You know. Love says, granted, I'm already 30, 31 in August, so I'm definitely not going to appeal to the Zoomers. I disagree, Fluff. I think that's not the case at all. I feel like, yeah, I don't know many people who are like, oh my god, relatable. I think if anything, people like a different perspective and also an honest perspective. And if you happen to be, confident within yourself, which I think you should be, knowing all about you, yeah, I think you'd be welcomed with open arms. Also, I think your perception on how you think people will perceive you is like 50% of how people will perceive you. You know what I mean? Like, if you expect people to dislike you, the odds of you making a joke or being fun and having fun are lower. Where if you were to expect everyone to like love you, then there's a higher probability that people will like you because you'll be honest to make jokes. You won't hold back. You'll be who you are and all that you are. And I think people genuinely cherish that, as long as who you are isn't like a toxic nightmare, you know. Fluff says, wouldn't be much worse than the toxicity I've experienced as both Mormon and this is the first time I've actually clicked with that, Fluff. I did not know you were Mormon. Really? Oh my god, that makes a lot more sense. You've always told me about certain things. You go into the store with your family and all that. It makes sense. I clicked, so I was like, okay, that adds up. Plus, I don't feel like I'll do it more than a hobby, so I won't worry about being all interconnected between all of the social media. Yeah. I think that's also half the thing, right? Though, like, you start doing something, you find a passion and a reverence for it, and then you find out ways slowly to, like, okay, I've found stabilization here. Why not start a Twitter and see if I can make that fun? Why not start a TikTok or something? You keep taking on bit by bit. But you don't just take on it all at once and like make a sequence. People are crazy who do that. People are way too analytical who do that. Stefan says, I gave you shift friend. I did see my shift friend. Okay, so what save file do you want, Stefan? I gotta add it into my thing. What the save file do you want to take, Stefan? Do you want the melee build or do you want the wizard build? Do you want blood torrent or meat god? Let me know. Because it's gonna take a little bit of time for me to get it before I invite you. Deadshot Pixies? I would assume it's the... Is Deadshot Pixies the magic pixie build? The one where you have pixies, but you also have a ton of spells, Stefan? Because my build's not called Deadshot Pixie. It's called Torrent. So I assume that's the class mod coupled with Pixie. Am I inviting you? Yes, Pixie and Spell. Gotcha. No. I'll have to get it, and then I'll load it into you. I'll send you an invite. But if is this you, Stefan? Yeah, is this? I think this is you, right? Yeah. So yeah, it looks like I can join you, so that should be fine. I just need to get the save file. I think I'll have to download it again because I don't know what the fuck it is. Just give me a sec. We'll go here. I need to take my current save file. That is that, because I want to keep it. I think it's 107. I could open my Discord and see. Also Red sent me a message I never checked. Shit. Where is it? Community save file Hall of Fame. That's what I want. Hall of Fame. It is. Where is it? This one. Nope, that's not it either. This one. Icy Blood Torrent is 101. Gotcha. Save file 101. Cut that out. Go over here. Save file 101. Okay, 101. We'll do this. We'll do downloads. Did I download it? I think I did, yes. Go to downloads, copy, cut, back out, paste, Brilliant. Okay. That should be there. 101 should be there. There it is. My bald, cue-bald man. Give me a sec. Ooh. Okay. Alright. Let me send you an invite, and I'll go into your game and drop the shit. I think it's that what you said, right? Stiff. EF. There's no double F there, but I would assume that's you. Alright. Yeah. Invite or join. That's what I'm doing. Join. Oh my body. Oh my body. Stefan says, I found it that you have very nice. Nice. Stop it, controller. This. Alright. Let's go. Let me throw up in my mouth. Here we go, my friend. And this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and boom! Fluff says, I just know that it's not the case for being an immediate success for full-time. Oh no, absolutely no. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing in the world is guaranteed in the slightest for you to have success. I just think that there is an inherent bonus to VTubing is basically being able to choose however you look, regardless of physical appearance, and also being able to hide your real appearance and also your identity, which I think is both very, very valuable in this day and age. You know what I mean? But again, like you're saying, that's not to say that you'll just get everything. You won't just immediately find success, but it is to say that if you were given the option of complete ambiguity, whatever it is. If you were to have that ability, as well as the ability to look and change your appearance at a whim based on whatever the most successful identity is at the time, / whatever you want, is kind of a good stacked deck. I think that, not a stacked deck, I think that's a good thing. Does that mean you'll get it immediately? No. Do I think it stacks the deck and you should probably aim for that other than other things? Yes. Like maybe even just doing voiceover content in the meantime and doing, like you said, that PNG of a character that you would like to have, and then having a sub goal that says, hey, this will get me my first VTuber model. This is the price point of the person who I'm already in contact with that would say this would be how much it would be worth. And then pursuing that would be, I would think, a better strategy than not. But yeah, that's why it was me. Not that you're in guaranteed success, but just the fact that I think it's a better bet than otherwise. Unless you want to be you want to have your face everywhere. People whenever I talk about this, people will kind of think, well, Grinn, again, what do you call it? Lone Singer made a joke. I think he knows at this point, but he made a joke about well, Grinn, when's your VTuber thing? And I think it's fun. I think it'd be an interesting thing to do. But for me, there is something that I find fun, and I don't know. There's something human about looking at somebody and I think smiling at them. And not to say that a VTuber can't do that. That's something that I recently heard Iron Mouse. I think Iron Mouse has this. She has this dislikement for people devaluing or taking away from the courage potentially that it would take to be doing this even with a model or something like that. There's a lot of hatred in that community for people being everyone who has a VTuber is ugly, and it's no, it's just people want to keep their identity safe. But for me, I don't know. There's something I like looking at you guys and smiling, and I think there's something there. But also, I could see someone who's very monotone, wouldn't mind having an avatar that is more expressive. But for me, I'm kind of an expressive person overall. I find myself overly expressive. I smile too much. I'm too animated. I get exhausted really quick because I'm moving constantly. When I'm playing a video game, I'm doing this, dodging actually in real life, which is fucked. Doesn't make any sense, and it seems bad. But yeah, let's go here. What was it again? What was the save file again? I think I can see it right. No, I can't see it actually right there. 101, that's what it was. Not 102. I think I copied 101. 101. New. Nope. This one. 101 was it? Yeah. Go here, paste. I just want to make sure I got my thing back. There we go. Is it back? Is it back on my sombrero man? Yes. That one's just my current one that I'm just fucking with. but yeah. But it's not the complete build. So yeah. I've mentioned it before, I think. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that, Fluff. I think I would remember the fact that you said you were Mormon. I may have, like, read it in passing and not, like, read the word Mormon correctly. But yeah, no, I've never heard that. I don't think. Fluff says, Deadshot is your Graveborn spell shot. The game has predetermined class combos named like Hammer, Zerker, and Sword and Deadshot. Oh, I see. Odd. Weird. God damn you, Gearbox. Taking all the fun out of everything. Fluff says, Deadshot and Graveborn. It's alright, read that. Lucas says, look at that nice close-up of my face. It's too much. I'm sweaty also because I've been literally sweating all day because of the working on a giant semi-truck. Stefan says, thank you very much. No problem, buddy. I got you. Now to try the max chaos level. Yeah, man. That's the biggest thing. Is people on console, I give you the gear. I can't give you, like, the cosmetics, the save file that has all this shit done, which is honestly a little bit better. I kind of wish there was a save file that didn't have any of the side quests done, but had the main story done. Although some of the side quests restrict you from getting to a boss, which is shitty, so I kind of get the idea of like, no, let's give people complete access. Which is also why Chaos Level was fun. I don't know, like that's the one thing I wish they did have, is a way to like reset to the quests, because they're fun to do. Fluff says, plus, I'll be streaming off of a laptop. I'll be starting a pretty low point in regard to streaming, and that's okay. Well, not really. You could always have a console. Oh, I guess maybe you don't have a console, but like, yeah, there's other ways to MacGyver around it. But also, yeah, I don't know. I think you'd be pretty fine. Like, especially with 720p being kind of like a norm on streaming, I think you'd be fine. Yeah. Fluff says, oh, I'm pretty protective about my personal info, so I'll definitely prefer to stick to an avatar. Yes. Fluff says, I still hope for a day you have a channel mascot as a rigged avatar, even if it's done alongside your face cam. Yeah, no, I think it'd be fun too, Fluff. I think it would be, you know what, okay, so I am correct. I didn't lie to you guys. I do, to me, I have this, and it's not a judgment on VTubers, it's a judgment on stuff that I find humans react based on facial expressions, which is also why VTubers make sense, because it's like this overabundance of physical reaction, this smile, this massive expression. But I don't know. I do agree that there's something to a person genuinely smiling at you, and you can see the sincerity in hopefully their face. Maybe some people don't feel that. Maybe it's just one-to-one. But yeah. So that's kind of just me as a person. That's my sense, not belief. I don't know it that much, but. One of the reasons why I haven't, because I think I have enough money saved that I couldn't do a $2,000 thing, but I could do like an $800 thing if I was really willing to bet on that horse. But what was I about to say? What was I about to say? Oh, the reason why the reason why to me, like Fluff just said, you wanted to see the avatar thing. The reason why I wouldn't, or I'm skittish to do it, is I think I'm pretty good about holding back when I'm like, what is the right way to say this? Like, sometimes I'll be like, okay, this could sound a certain way. I don't mean it in that way, but I'm going to say it. Please give me that grace. And then we say it, and then I patch it as I say it. Just so you know, I'm not saying it like this. This is not coming from this kind of place. It's, yeah. But I feel like at the same time when there was a one time in a stream, we were playing Mortal Shell, and I think I put on my mask for like 2 seconds, the mask that I currently was into making. And I found that I had like the barrier in my head that had like the hold back, don't make that joke, don't say that thing, don't completely just fully send it, was gone. Like I'm talking gone. Like it was immediate. It's like the feeling of literally wearing a mask, because me and Fluff relate to this on some level, but I do not feel the ambiguity of the internet, the wall, the feeling of anonymousness. Even when I write a comment, I perceive myself writing it as if everybody's going to perceive that as this is me saying it. That's why I don't say negative things online. I don't write negative comments, even if I'm mad. It's just because I feel like that's like in my world, if you say something overtly rude or even justifiably rude, you can still get punched in the fucking face. So it's like, let's calm down. Let's not get punched in the fucking face. So I have no perspective of that. So this is the one instance where it was one of those streams. I put on the thing, I fully sent it, and I was like, wow, that was immediate. But it also felt awesome because you're like, fuck it. It's not me. Despite I have an archive of me showing that it's me. So that's a part of me is a little fucking worried, to say the least, if I do have the full-blown mascot as a filter, essentially. As no filter, actually. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a freaky, like, oh, this could be bad. This could be a little bad. Fluff says, and who knows, maybe I'll start streaming my Valorant or Apex session. Ooh, I would love to see that, man. Fluff says, I've dabbled in streaming before, like when I played through Justice 2 story mode, a bit of Neo and other games. Awesome. Did you get people popping in? Because that to me is a really interesting part. Like, well, there's two parts I think that are interesting in seeing someone who is doing the streaming for the first time. It's one, when you have nobody going in your chat at all, and you're just kind of like, I'm vibing with my clone self, me, myself, and this. Okay, is when you're hanging out, and then there's the thing when you actually get a person here, and both are very. I think probably the one that like. How you are when no one is there is probably more valuable than how you are there when everybody is there. But yes, also Lone Syndicate, thank you for the Hydra. I really need to watch him. You're a masochist. Or a sadist, sorry. Stefan says, I think my daughter will be very varied by mostly N64 or Switch games. She's outgoing and personable. Yeah, no, I definitely think that's the case, man. I think there's, how do I phrase this? It's one of those things. I think if you are a female, and you have a proclivity for, like, how do I put it? I feel like there's a lot of females that feel like they're not really into things, but that's not right either. I like, it's basically like the symptom of Twitch. That's the best way I can describe it. Like, the symptom of Twitch where there's like people who are wearing tank tops and they're showing cleavage, and that's fine. Get after it, etc. For people who are grown adults doing what they want to do with their body, but there is this sense of like, are you as into this as you are? So I think that people desperately crave on authenticity. But also like a person who genuinely has a deep love for what they're enjoying, and also a deep love for human beings. People who are genuinely like, again, that's why like Iron Mouse to me is one of those people that genuinely feels sincere when she's like, "Thank you for playing games with me." Like it seems like that's a genuine human response. I think people want that. I think it's funny because it's contrast by like what do you call it? The guy who she always streams with, which is Connor, but he's very much a performer. He's like an entertainer. He embodies that idea of like, I have your attention for an hour, I'm gonna gun it. And I think people, as much as people love the performer, I think people also crave a person who is authentic to who they are and their like and etc. like that. So, and I think, to be honest, I don't know if there's many people on. Maybe it's just also a perception thing. So maybe there are tons of people that do that, but they're not able to express that in such a way that makes it seem like you're like, oh, you're as into this as I said. Because I think it's also human nature as well. People think like, maybe if people knew how much I liked anime, it'd be cringe, or like maybe they would judge me. But also when you see someone who's like, I don't give a shit if you care, if you're gonna judge me, I'm really into this and I'm excited to talk about it, which is, I talk to you guys about how much I love seeing that with people, but like seeing a person get excited about what they're really into is exciting and fun. But yeah, I don't know. I think your daughter would kill it, Stefan, frankly. But I also, I don't know. I always have this perspective of like, whenever I hear anything, I always put it onto myself to see like how I would react and how I would do, trying to evolve and become better. But at the same time, I realize that people aren't doing things for the same reasons I would. But I always see my like younger self who was getting into content creation, and I'm always like, if I could have a conversation with my younger self, I would take it immediately. It wouldn't be one of those things where like, would I disappear because of my past? No, I would take it. Yeah. I had a friend or two tune in, but but it wasn't much else. Yeah, man, but that's one of the fun I don't know, because it's I don't know if it's good to have your friends tune in, because I feel like it gives you a sense of a weird false start. And not that like you don't want people to be there, but I feel like your friends are there because they're your friends. They're not there because they have a vested interest in what you're playing, unless you're both really into the same thing. So yeah, I feel like it's a weird thing where like, your friends will come in, and then I feel like eventually they'll like leave. And in some ways, I think that feels. It depends on how you perceive judgment, but I think that could be perceived as worse than somebody who's just random, you know. Also, there's stakes, I think, also, when people join into your stream. You kind of want, like, I don't know, to me, I like to forge myself in the shadow of the quiet, and then, like, no one looks at me, but I'm doing my best, and then finally when I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's do this, I deserve some attention, then you go forth. I've never gotten to that point in my life where I'm like, I deserve attention, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best. Stefan says she's the opposite of using her body like that. She, likes to have fun and share what she, likes to entertain with. Yeah. And by the way, it's not a judgment on people showing their body. It's a judgment on, again, this is something that the book I currently am reading talks about, but it's whether something works or doesn't is kind of irrelevant. What determines that is the person's, like for instance, one of the things it says in the book is, do you perceive something as being in good faith or not? That's the thing. It's not whether something is or isn't, it's whether you perceive it as such. And the mental gymnastics that your brain will go to, if it perceives something's in good faith, it will let go and let people kind of pull them around. Where if it thinks it's not in good faith, then it puts up walls and starts to judge and starts to criticize. So, in fairness, the people who are also showing their bodies, I don't think there's anything wrong with showing your bodies. I think it's, for me, I find it's like weighted in like, I know that like people want to see my body, and everything else is kind of irrelevant, so I see the scale of things do that, you know? But with that being said, there are also some people who look beautiful, who have it all. Or probably don't have it all. Probably, a lot of people who look pretty also have fucking mental illness. like who have the severe depression, because they have supposedly it all, and their brain's still like, kill yourself, which is terrible. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm not done yet. I just have to use the washroom. Talk amongst yourselves. Look at our worthless shit mushroom. Okay. Back. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've re-rolled for like an hour and a half, and we haven't even gotten one barrage. We haven't got one piece into alignment. If people are like, "Hey, Grinn, you're kind of slacking with these builds," don't look at me. Okay, look away. God damn it. You know what? I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat. What do you think, guys? The bread looks awesome. It's very good, actually. It is one of those things. I forget what it's called. Thank you for hanging out, Axiom. This is really good, actually. Holy shit. Holy shit. I might just be starving also. I think I fucked up. Yeah, I didn't unequip my character. God damn it. God damn it. I paste that. Still there, yeah. Brilliant. This, and this. We're back. All right. Lone Singer says, it is good, Grinn. It looks mad. Dude, it's pretty tasty, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be this good. It's very, very good. Yes. Siobhan says, all right, remember that? I ran out of things to talk about, so I've just been lurking. It's all good, Axiom. I appreciate you just being here, buddy, but I understand. I understand the sentiment. I personally am a person that's like, yeah, I'm such a bad watcher person. I'm so much of like, you can be talking about anything. I just be like, I'm just happy to be, you know, in here. You know, I'm not the person who's like, let me get in on this. I'm like the person who's just like, you know what? I'm like just hanging out, and yeah. But yes. Let's do this. Poison damage. Also, I haven't heard. Well, I actually haven't been online for like 3 days, so I haven't seen. But I would assume because I haven't. I think. Well, actually, I've been online at the last end of the day, so I got like an hour to watch some stuff. But as far as I've seen, there hasn't been any sort of discovery of like the final shark boss having a yield, right? Like the final shark boss beating that one didn't like give you. He drops a new legendary, right? Which is foolish and silly and dumb. There we go. I still have to edit today's thumbnail for you guys. I'll be honest, I kind of shit out the last one. I feel bad about it. The video about like, hey, here's the Assassination Reborn guy or whatever it's called. Not Hitman Reborn. Don't. It's not that one. Also, apparently it's a great show. I want to watch it, but it's not fucking dubbed, and it's just so many. I've watched, actually, that was one of the few shows I watched all the way up to, I think, like episode 40, just subbed, because I just thought the idea was neat. I heard a lot of people say that was great. I like the mafia idea. The execution of it's always pretty shitty, but yeah. Also, why was that such... Oh, I was re-rolling the wrong thing. But yeah, no, what do you call it? I forget. I always forget. Like, to me, the one thing about the like reincarnated assassin, whatever it's called, the one that always makes that weird is that like the names, anime names are like ungodly long. So to me, I'm like, I had originally like reincarnated assassin or assassination reincarnation or something like that as the title, but then I was kind of like, it doesn't really like make someone who sees the thumbnail excited to watch the show, and it's already like linked in the description. If you type in the show, it's gonna pop up. So I was like, I guess a true thing is that this is a show that is a darker version of an isekai, not necessarily like Overlord shit, but kind of. Actually, I would say it's, to me, it's worse. There's a specific moment within that show that is unarguably worse than Overlord. Overlord has like filleting human flesh off of bone to make spells and shit, which is pretty grim. Also, it has a moment where it addresses similar things, but it's less fucking like in your face and horrific about it, you know? The assassination one has, but also it's like kind of out of nowhere. It's also weird. It's like, hey, here's this absolute horrible despair point, and now we're chilling. What's good, Rasta? Also, hi. Hope you're having a lovely day, Rasta. How's it been? Lone Syndicate says, I don't eat baked goods that often, but when I do, I always enjoy it as long as it's not too sweet, like a good muffin or a donut. Really, Lone Syndicate? Why? Why no baked goods? You're also a person who has cold showers, so I feel like I understand, just before you even reply. But, yeah, man, I don't know. To me, I'm a person who also not governed by, like, to me, I'll take something sweet over something like if there was like a one of these bad boys that was like crazy feeling, pretty nutritious, but tasted really sweet, I would eat that over like a big steak dinner with crab and all these things. I'm a person who's weighted more towards that. I like sweet things, you know? But I'm curious to see why you don't eat sweet things too often. Just careful with sugar things. Fluff says, speaking of anime talk, the Assassin incarnation reminds me so heavily of the DFO agent / hitman. I really dig it. What's DNFO agent? What's that? /hit. Oh, you mean like the Hitman series? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of like that. Yeah. I guess man, that was one of those series I never really got into. Fluff, the Hitman series. I know a lot of people love that thing. I've never gotten into it. I think I've seen a lot. Like, it's always a good, goofy, fun gameplay that you see of it, like just being weird, like people killing people in all kinds of horrible ways. You know. Come on, damage dealt. Man, I don't even think the barrage skill exists. Poison damage. Hey, I see you. I guess we could do the other one too. I think that one needs to be re-rolled as well. Lightning damage. That's it. Nope, we can go all the way. Dark magic. I think we need cryo. Fire. Spells. Melee damage, no. Poison damage might not be the worst, but I think it scales off of cryo, so I think that might actually be the best. Alright, fuck you then. Fluff says, Easy Guy names are overly wordy with their titles nowadays. It seems partly why my favorite remains one that I can easily recommend / say. What is that, Fluff? Let me hear about it. Rasta says, I'm doing great playing Distill, a gacha game playing myself. So it's okay. It's called what? It's called Distilled. Okay. It's also F2P, and I'm almost level 50. Okay. What's it about? Is it like whenever I think of gacha game, I don't think of like a game. Like not every gacha game to me seems like Genshin, which is wrong because I know game is the wrong way to phrase it. But like to me, an open world exploration kind of thing, a first person game. You know, those are like a RPG. You know, those are There's not quite the lens I usually see those games in. But what is it, Rasta? If you wouldn't mind telling me, I'd appreciate it. Fluff says, I definitely prefer salty / savory foods, but I also love cheesecake. Oh, dude, cheesecake. Cheesecake is like, cheesecake is one of the few things where I think I even have a cap on like the sweetness of it. Like if you have a really fucking super sugary cheesecake, that's a lot. But it's also like dense. Maybe that's why. It's like this is a lot by anybody's standards. Actually, this is insane. But I love me cheesecake, man. Apparently you and the people over the U.S. or even maybe just California, but you guys got a cheesecake factory, which seems like it just specializes in like, you know, obesity and whatnot. But I would love to go there, okay, for just an experience of gluttony is, you know, like you've never seen. Fluff says DFO is a dungeon fighter online or upcoming fighter game, DNF Duel. Oh, okay. Rasa says, and Jujutsu Kaisen is 100% more edgy than Naruto. Yeah. Although I think I don't know, I really like Jujutsu Kaisen. People always say it's mid and or shit. Like I just hate people who are like, I'm gonna say this show shit, and that means I don't know. To me, it's the way people say it. It's not like it's like, I don't like the show that much. It's not for me. No one ever says that. It's like, no, overall, it's actually not good. And you're like, fuck you, cunt. Like, what's your problem? Okay? God damn you. I've talked to you guys about this before. Just people like to be, like having a bad opinion or having an opinion on something being bad is more valuable than something like, I think it's fun. Or it may not be for me. But maybe that's less salacious. Maybe that's why you need to be like, it's the fucking worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life. It's insulting how bad it is. Can you believe it? The show doing things. What a fucking bastard, you know? Also, this skill does not make any sense. It says, melee damage by 30% when the enemy has 70% health. But then there's one that's like, fighting a badass or a boss enemy, you get always 30% health. Opposed to, like, I guess this one could apply to ads, but ads are also just inherently lower health. Spell damage is not that too. Actually, Spell damage is not the worst. In fact, that actually could be really good for the sequencing that I'm thinking about. Yeah, so cryo. That could not be bad. If they stack it, that could not be bad. Because, yeah, pixie scale off that. We're keeping that one. That one could be pretty good. There we go. And we're done. We're resetting again. Oh, Lone Ticket says, I enjoy anime with long names because they do the best. Plus, it's impossible for me to not read this long title and not be interested. Yeah, no, I think that's the thing. That's the whole reason why they started adapting the longer names, is because the synopsis of, like, basically, if you said, like, World's Edge, people would, like, see the anime and be like, okay, and they wouldn't understand what it's about. Whereas if they basically took the subheader on the back of the book that explained the plot and just put it in the title of, like, reincarnated whatever, right? Or, yeah, with exception of things like Kintsuba and stuff like that, which is like a classic name. It's not, it's iconic, but it's not like, it doesn't tell you what it's about. But the whole point, I think, was to try to sell you the show within the title itself, you know, which makes sense, but also, it also is a lot. It's excessive. Like, I wish there was I think that's the thing, though. If their name wasn't just that, then people would just take the one thing as its name. Like, even if you did, this is the show, and then subtext, yeah. Granted, sometimes it works in the opposite way. What is that show called? I don't remember what it's called, but I know what the baseline advertising of the show was, which was Live, Die, Repeat. But I think it was like someone will know it, but that's not the name of it. What's good, Astro Blade? What's good, buddy? Good to see you. Always love to see you, Astro Blade. But I forget what it's called. Live, Die, Repeat is what, like, the sales pitch what it was. But I think the name of it was different. But it had, like, a Scientologist guy. What's his name? He's like an action star. I don't know what his name is. But anyway, it had him in it. And it was actually quite cool. I always like the Groundhog Day, man, is one of those few stories where I just feel like I could watch the premise of that show and be content with it. You know what I mean? Grinn, you talking about ReZero? No. But that's also great. It's a great, like, to me, it's just such an iconic idea of like the Groundhog Day story. Live, Die, Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow. That Ross has got me. Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow. That's what it's called. But nobody, at least as far as I'm concerned, everyone remembers the Live, Die, Repeat advertising more than the Edge of Tomorrow. You know what I mean? Maybe it's because it's shorter. Maybe it's just because it's Live, Die, Repeat. You know. But also, yeah, I think to me, fun show. Rasa says it's been promoted a lot everywhere. It's made by AFK Arena devs, and the advertiser was on point. Okay. Fluff says, yeah, the Cheesecake Factory is a franchise with dine-in sections. Located, we've got the Tellman Cheese brand, though they specialize in cheese and ice creams instead. Okay. Yeah, I always see people have, like, certain corn, like, yeah, America's, like, food choices are always crazy. Like, I've seen like YouTubers in LA or whatever have, like, this corn dog. There's various, like, chunks of something on it, and it just looks like nothing but pure crispy fucking processed shit. And I'm like, God damn, hell yeah! You gotta try it once. You know what I mean? It may take off a year off your life, but come on. Lomsky says, all this talk about baked goods making me think I should treat myself to some sweets this month when I go grocery shopping. Lomsky, do you ever reply to me on why you don't like, there we go, yeah, the main reason, sorry, I missed this. The main reason is I used to eat sweets a ton as a kid, and I felt like I grew out of it or got tired of the taste. It's also the reason I don't eat candy like that either. Interesting. Is it candy overall? Because I don't like gummy shit. Gummy shit hurts my teeth badly. I don't know what it is. But I like anything pastry-wise. Like a muffin, cookies, holy shit. Cheesecake, like you said, woo. Cake, hell yeah. Fuck me up. All of it. I love it. Fluff says, alongside the family tradition of going out for sushi for each birthday, we also always get a variety of cheesecake from our local grocery. Each slice is different flavor, so it's fun to enjoy the various diners diner and desserts. Yeah, it makes sense. I can see that. That could be a little bit of a habit. I was gonna say, Fluff, though, I've never actually tried sushi ever. I wonder. Maybe one of these streams we'll do that. I'll find some sushi restaurant thing and grab it. Yeah. I don't know, man. Part of me thinks in my head, I want to be like, it's just regular raw food, dude. And I know all you sushi lovers are like, fucking no, Grinn, it's delicious. I'm sure it's great. But just a little bit of stuff in my head where I'm like, come on, what is happening? Also, I told you guys before, I tried like one of those circular things, and I think they put like a hard rock in it or something, and I was chewing on it, and I was like, this is actually not bad. And then I hit some sort of hard bead that was in there, and I was just like, what the fuck was that? And yeah, then it kind of made the whole experience a little bit bad. Lone Singer says, I have been to the Cheesecake Factory before. Their cheesecake was good, and the food was alright. I would prefer, personally, only go there for a cheesecake. Okay. I feel like the whole thing is that they try to like, I'm gonna fatten that ass up. We give you a bunch of food. Alright. It's not going to be great, but it's going to be okay. And one of this going to hit. But look, Astroblade says, yo, Logan, howdy, chat. Hope you're having a lovely week. I am. Is this a weird Waldo Pajama Man thing? Weird. Fluff says, Edge of Tomorrow was originally named by, but they have to rebrand it to Live, Die, Repeat because Edge of Tomorrow is the name of a soap opera. Really? Okay. Is that right? I still thought its base name was Edge of Tomorrow. Interesting. Maybe that's what it was. Yes, American staple. Fried stuff with cheese. Yes. If it is deep fried, it's fine. Sweet teeth is a blessing and a curse. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sweet tooth is a blessing and a curse. Man, to me, if you just understand the foundation of like calories and shit, like you have to be at a calorie deficit to not have a shit ton of food. So like, if you're okay with this being a meal, a whole ass meal, then you're like, okay, all right, I'll take it, you know. Also, you brush your teeth in the morning and at night. You should be pretty good. If you want to be extra, you can get a water flosser. I think that takes care of you know. But I think flossing is like the 99% of the reason why you have cavities. I think with water flosser also, like, cause you can floss, but you're not gonna like dig out shit out of your gums, which is why a water flosser is kind of like pressure blasting your gums clean is kind of huge to not having shit in there and like having like some sort of corrosive sugar thing eat away your tooth because it's pressure locked within your gums in your tooth, you know. Astroblade, so you never had sushi? I had one once, but it was literally just like, here's a circle roll thing. And I ate it and it had something hard in the middle. It wasn't meat. It was like a bead, it felt like. I don't know what that is, what it means. Fluff says, most of the things I cannot personally stomach are pineapples. I can tolerate, but prefer not to eat. Apricots, definitely cannot eat. And hot oatmeal turns my stomach the moment it enters my mouth. Wow! What was that thing I heard? Some people have a visceral response to something. It was like I don't know if it was kiwis or something, but people will like, they think the taste tastes like soap or something. But like for everyone else, it's like it tastes like a plant. But for some people, just based on your evolution, based on wherever you are, you have this like visceral response to something that otherwise is not perceived that way. But it's just because you have a genetic part of your brain that says, this is terrible, get it out of you. I don't know what it is. Rossi says, I swear to God, diabetes will be the death of me sometime, but not today. Ross, I imagine that was what we were talking about when we were talking about Cheesecake Factory, just saying, fucking me up. Fuck me up. It's such a beautiful sentence, Rasta. Dark Magic. Man, we keep getting the critical hit one. I think it's all on rails. Dark Magic. Nothing. We'll keep the spell damage on our wand. Oh my god. Oh, thank god. Oh, I thought I clicked destroyed a desktop. I hate when I do that. It's so fucking annoying. Anyways. Sorry. Also, I'm trying to catch up on chat, but give me a sec. This. And that. There we go. We'll do that. Back out here. Load in the thing. Pop and then pop. Sloan Singer says cake is a mixed bag for me. As long as the cake isn't overtopped with so much frosting and all filled with the candy like gummy candy, chocolate. And as far as candy, I like gummy candy and chocolate. I like chocolate a lot. That's my thing too. Milk, chocolate, anything other than that I'm not into. Okay, interesting. Also, I feel you on the cake. There's like the classic birthday cake that is just kind of like gritty, kind of particly, kind of just classic cake. That I don't fuck with. But anything like, what is the red velvet cake, you know what I mean? That's its own brand. That's its own, like, also if it's moist, moist. Then, Love says, sushi can be very hit or miss. You'll be better off going somewhere with a local supply of fish or a coastal. The West Coast Pacific will have closer to authentic outside Japan. Yeah, I don't know if to me, I don't want authentic because I feel like if I like authentic, then I'm like, one of the best advice I was ever given in my whole life was, hey, learn to drink black coffee. All right, whenever somebody asks you what kind of coffee when you're younger, you say black coffee. It's gonna taste like shit, but eventually you'll be like, this is acceptable, okay? And then you will not have this whole nightmare hell of like, what kind of coffee do you want? Sugar, 4 milks. Oh, fuck, this is not my cup of coffee. I hate it. You know, you'll just be like, you know what? I've adapted, okay? And if it happens if we get like a little treat, then we're like, cool. But I always know I have it in me to down a black cup of coffee and go, and then be fine, okay? Stefan says sushi is good if it's from a good place. It seems to be the consensus. I think just so many people who love sushi, like sushi people who are like, it's so good, are also the people who are like, who've got food poisoning because sushi is kind of a grab bag of like, you get it from a shitty place, you're gonna get a fucking horrible, you're gonna be shitting out your ass and puking out your mouth. It's gonna be a whole thing. Fluff says, but there's a large variety of delicious types of sushi. One big tip is to never end with mackerel, as it is quite the aftertaste. The one that I've always just wanted to have is the little classic circle one. The one's like rice with like a little bit of raw fish in there, I guess, and then like some sort of sauce, I assume, to give it some sort of flavor. What's good? Aaron Sand says, hi, Grinn. It's been a minute. I hope you've been doing good, my dude. I've been doing great, Aaron Sand. Hopefully, you're also doing well, my friend. How have you been? Hopefully, you've been taking care of yourself. Hopefully, on a good track in life. Stefan says, we stopped eating anything with added sugar and lost a bunch of weight. Yeah, no, it's a good way to do it just from no sugar. Yeah, man. Yeah, again, to me, that's the thing. Where, like, again, people have this conception of, like sugar is basically just a fuck ton of calories, essentially. So you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. And if sugar is where, like, 80% of your calories are going in the day, then yeah. Man, I wanted to try a diet because I feel like, guys, I have a weird varied thing in me. Like, I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant or something. Probably not that. I think I maybe, like, whatever it is, when I eat certain things, like I think pastas, I just fucking crash. Like, I feel like I was like super good, mentally stimulated, and then I'm just like, it's almost like my body's just focused on breaking down something, and I just get super slow. But then also, I don't know what is gluten. That's what it is, gluten. I know if I'm that asshole, gluten intolerant, but it's true. I think I might have that bullshit because I just find, and I hate it. I hate the feeling of like, I'm efficient, I'm cooking, I'm doing good, and then I'm just like, and I just gas out, you know? It says, fun fact, you only really have to brush your teeth once a day. It makes sense. Before bed, I would assume, right? Because when you're only sleeping the whole day, right? So you're not shitting you're not having weird shit in your mouth. It makes sense. I just prefer to have, what do you call it? Because I have a room that doesn't have very good circulation, and it's very stuffy. So I always wake up with like a bunch of grit in my mouth and crap. Not great, but yeah. But yeah, I would assume it's before bed, right? It can't be when you wake up in the morning, because then you'll just be sleeping with all that shit in your mouth, essentially, and it'll just be eating away at your mouth. Yeah. But if you do it in the morning, how do you get rid of morning breath? You know? Like, don't you want to... Yeah. Maybe you're not a mouth breather. Maybe that's a big part of all of it. Yeah, we get a water pick style electric brush. It'll switch to it after I get my dentist appointment scheduled. This is cavity fix. Yeah. Well, also, I think it's just people. Like, this pissed me off so much, man. My brother never fucking has cavities ever. Even when we were kids, nothing. And I was always the one that's like, guess what, bitch? Maybe it's the sweet tooth, but not all that. I brushed my teeth. It was just it's just the genetic thing, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I was just eating sweets and I didn't brush. I brushed my teeth though. I never didn't brush my teeth. I think it just didn't matter because you were eating sweets so much. Fluff says, calendar tastes like soap. Wait, was that where it was? Cilantro. That's what I think it's. That's what it is. Yeah. Cilantro. That makes sense. To personal. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Fluff says cake can often be too dry for my preference, but good moist cake can be delicious. I agree. I still prefer cheesecake whenever the argument absolutely. Not even close. I agree. Not even close. For like cheesecake. Also, I like me ice cream cake, but I don't know. Some people always feel like ice cream cake is better. Ice cream cake is also just painful. I just want to eat my fucking food. My sweets. When you're sitting there taking a bite, you're like, and you're sitting there gnawing on the ice, like, come on, you son of a bitch. Get down. God damn it. Lone Ziggin says, I'm going to have to withdraw myself from this conversation about baked goods, because now I want some. Come on, give in. Just a little bit. What a little bit of fucking you gonna do at Lone Ziggin? Come on. There would be some pastries. You go to the store anyway. They always have those trays of assorted pastries. What's to say you grab one? What's to say you eat all of it? What's to say this becomes a habit? What's to say you continue to do this for months on end? This is where your budget goes, and now you have a problem. Be careful, yeah. Azurblade says, that sounds like a horrible and disgusting advice about coffee. It's great advice, man. It's great advice, Azurblade. It's amazing. Sometimes you can't, you only can have coffee if it's made with some specific like cocoa cream and sugars and such. Fluff says, just make sure that wherever you go for sushi, it's a reputable location. Yeah, seems like it's the number one cause of food poisoning is sushi, shitty creation of sushi. Fire damage. Damage dealt. But that's it. That's all our tries. All our tries. Going down the. Actually, aren't we supposed to also reroll a spell or something? I don't think we have enough. No, we do. Yeah, we do. It's the one that we have equipped. No, we don't, because I've rerolled this one a lot. Great. Calamity might be fine. Maybe this one. Fuck it. Let's just reroll again. We got our wand in the right order, so Yeah. Something. Stefan says, lol, yeah, it's bad, hungry. Yeah. Listen, man, it's just food. Don't worry about it. Sometimes we all gotta suffer in silence. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm a monster. Nothing there. I'm just trying to be a weirdo. I gotta delete the old save. And there it is. Why? Why? Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. The interface is weird. Fluff says, the local place we go to has a house special that I absolutely love. It's an egg wrap instead of a nori, the seaweed, and then has crab, tuna salad, and a place for cucumber in the middle. I don't know if I like the fucking cucumber. I feel like that'll throw me off a little bit. I'd love to learn how to make it myself. Yeah, man. There's a whole I don't know. A part of it to me is like half of the magicalness of, I think, sushi for a lot of people is the placement of it. like the like performance art of its look. So the fact that you're like spending all your time to make it look nice, I feel like it would take the magic, or maybe increase the magic, maybe in some ways. When you have a gluten intolerance, but thankfully, I doubt you don't have celiac disease. You won't be able to eat gluten at all. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Love says, I have a minor lactose intolerance, but it mostly just makes me cough. Also, happens with cramp-prone foods. Oh, sorry, crumb-prone food? What's that? Is it like because you got grit in your throat? Like like you have like a filament on your throat? You have to cough up? Astroplate says, I mean, you can learn to take your coffee in a number of different ways. It's true. To me, I just think it was something that made sense to me, and I did it, and I was like, hey, this is nice. This is nice. The only thing it says, I remember the first time I ever had ice cream cake. My disappointment was immeasurable. You know what? Hey, as much as ice cream cake may sometimes, to me, man, ice cream cake is the biggest hit or miss thing ever. It mostly miss a lot of time. But you know, it seems like always is like a fucking hell of a hit. Warm brownies with some vanilla ice cream, dude. Just a vanilla ice cream. You eat it, you take both of them, pop. And it melts in your mouth. Also, if it's just perfectly warm brownies, then the heat of the brownie melts the ice cream, and it just creates this. Someone say, I'm doing this on purpose now. Also, my eye. I scratched my eye. Icing or some shit in my eye. I'm not being punished. I'm being rewarded in a way. Getting my sugar fix through eyes. Ugh. No. Spell damage. No. That's what was gun kill. Blind. Nothing again. It's really bad. My eye keeps leaking. Fluff says, sadly, both of the sushi places I could recommend would require you to come visit my area of Oregon, as they're both locals, but the other specialize in tempura, essentially fried sushi rolls, and it's quite tasty too. Far more Americanized than the other place we tend to go for birthdays. My brother's a big sushi person, so he's just a weird food person in general. He's brilliant, but he's very much into like anything that's odd. He'll try and he'll like and he'll make it. But yeah, no, he knows a lot of good spots. I think we'll do it one at some point in a stream, as that'd be a fun thing to do. Also, you have to put up with me eating things. Also, I might not like it, so I might not finish it. I'm sure, man. It's one of those things where if you don't like sushi, bitches be coming for you. They're like, you're a fucking idiot. And I'm like, what the hell is your problem? Yeah. But also, I think that's also, maybe that's part of the reason why. It's not that you don't like sushi, because it's like such a varied, like, overarching thing, right? Like, there's thousands of versions of sushi. It's not just raw XYZ, you know? But I've also wanted to try, that may sound cringe, this is just the weeb in me, though. I've always wanted to try those weird, like, fucking, like, heart-like things with, like, a weird fucking spinach leaf on them. I think they have mayonnaise in the middle sometimes, which I'm like, that doesn't sound that bad. It also sounds like a lot of sushi, like, or like Japanese cuisine to some extent. I feel like a lot of it is very neutral. It's not trying to be like America's like, taste this, boom, ketchup, mayonnaise, fucking peppers, this. It's like all these like wrestling of flavors. And I think it seems like sushi is more of a soft journey. You know, a soft journey. Lone Secret says, sushi sounds good. You haven't had sushi either, man? One of these days. Actually, maybe it's a bad idea, because I feel like, yeah. Well, I'll be like, okay, we're going to get sushi on this day, and you'll go buy it from the store and put it in your fridge or something, Lone Syndicate, and then it'll, like, if I get sushi, I want to immediately try it that day, because I don't trust it. Dude, 99% of the time I've heard anybody get food poisoning, sushi again. Or like any sort of thing. Now again, is that sushi? No, it's just poorly made sushi or people not refrigerating their shit. Yeah, I know. But Still, it's like it makes sense. This is something that you should be careful with when it comes to storage and all these things. Also, Asherblade says, I'm just started making my own sushi at home last week. Oh, nice. Has it been as satisfying? Hey, Asherblade, can tell us now. Has it been as satisfying? Has it been ever, like, is sequencing? Or has it been like, has it been an improvement to your experience or less? Because it's like, man, this is a lot of work to make it look pretty. Or is it like a part of the process? Does it make it even more tasty now that it took some more time to make everything come together? Nothing fancy, just basic, easy to make one. Yeah, no, man, I think it's just as good. Fluff says, essentially my lactose intolerance builds up yeah, they call it, yeah, I get that. Sushi isn't that difficult once you have the right ingredients. It's pretty much a Japanese-style wrap. Pick whatever you want to fill with it, fish, veggies, other meats. Then wrap it in rice. God, sushi seems nice. I'm gonna throw up. Sorry. Ashblade says, Onigiro, sorry. Onigiro. Love says, oh, I definitely understand if you don't end up liking sushi, but it's all a matter of first impressions. If someone introduces you to a bad roll, it'll be hard to come back. I don't know about that. I'm pretty like, fuck it, hit me again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Somebody is like, no, you just had a bad one. And this is a good way to manipulate me, by the way, because I am like overly trusting. If somebody gives like, hey, that was just a bad experience. This experience, not as bad. I'm like, got it. Fully commit again, which is not a good trait. But yes. Yeah, I don't want to re-roll this. We could re-roll the shield. No, we can't. Shield's actually perfect. Fluff says, essentially, a triangle of circle mass of sticky rice with some sort of filling and held together with some nori? Something. Fluff says, no, I had sushi before. I enjoyed it very much. I might treat myself to some when I get paid. Ooh, can't wait to hear about it. Holy shit, we've overstreamed quite a bit, but I'm kind of I'm having a good time. You guys are very fun to be around. Also, I appreciate everyone talking to me and hanging out. Also, I'm kind of fucking pissed that we still haven't even gotten the barrage one once. It'd be cool if we could get that, but we're not gonna get it probably before I'm like, because I do have to cut my hair still, and I still have to make a thumbnail for you guys because I've been constantly in the shop the whole day. Fluff says, I've gotten food poisoning and it's never been from sushi. Well, but also you seem like to have a good baseline understanding of like, hey, maybe we should be careful with the types of sushi or the types of places we get sushi from. Asherblade says, it's been a process. I don't enjoy cooking or preparing food. In general, I'd much rather just eat something quick and give me all the nutrition I need. Asherblade, my kindred spirit! As much as we're talking a lot about food, I'm doing it to kind of lull you into a feeling of needing to eat. But, no, I'm not a feeder, but I am having fun with this. But I'm the same way, man. I'm the same way. I prefer to have that. To have something that is nutritionally dense. / I don't know, to me, if there was something that like could give you like a hell of a focus and like, yeah, then that'd be good. But also, I'm not sure if I am this weird, what is it called? Where like rice, I think, is off the table, pastas, breads. What is that? Is that gluten? I'm not sure what that is. I think it may be gluten intolerant, whatever it is. Whatever it is, whenever I eat those things, on high occasion, I'll just gas out. Like, I'll feel like if I eat if I massively overate, that's the kind of the feeling. I'm feeling like super sluggish and run down and being like, oh my god. Ugh. So I'm not sure if the sushi would be yummy probably, but I'm not sure if it would be the thing that I'm looking for. I just don't know how the fuck do you eliminate gluten or whatnot from your diet? Or maybe it's just pastas, or maybe carbs. That's what it is, carbs. Sorry, not pastas, or not gluten. Maybe it's carbs, gluten. I don't know, probably. Ugh. Lone Syndicate says, I've only got food poisoning one time, and I got it from Wendy's. That was the worst day of school ever, mainly because I couldn't think of what was wrong. Really? How could Wendy's? Maybe. Okay. Weird. I just. Did they forget to cook the meat? Huh? How does food poisoning happen? By the way, is it like I always thought it was like a undercooked food or something, or like food with excess bacteria on it. But I wonder how you, because ideally like they cook, like even they just throw on the patty that's already pre-cooked onto a grill really quick, burn the edges, and then which should kill all bacteria on it, right? Plus, as most sushi I've had to taste great, even mackerel. But you don't want to end your meal with mackerel because it has a weird aftertaste, heavy aftertaste. Fluff says, and then there's blowfish. You need a great rapport with your chef before even trusting it to not kill. Yeah, I was about to say, isn't it dangerous? It's poisonous as shit. Also, I don't know if I like that, just in general. You know what I mean? Like, I feel, I don't know. To me, that was one of the sadder, like when the blowfish or something, or I don't know. The guy was feeding him a carrot, and he was like, ugh, that. I don't know why that one felt like a little like just maybe I don't know what it is, but I don't like just kill it, just be done with it, gone. Like don't like this is not what he's not loving to eat the carrot. Like he never ate a carrot in his whole fucking life. It's not like I'm gonna shove a carrot shoved in my mouth. No, you know, same thing with like the birds. Birds get fucking wrecked horribly. Like it's torturous as hell, you know. But also, man, I don't know. There's a lot of people in the world who like. One of the things I think is I constantly see asked within like conversation is like, well, I've eaten a shark, or would you eat like XYZ? You know, that's somewhat like, ooh, it's like kangaroo or something. And my always response is like, no, what? But also, I'm not like a food taste person, you know. Like no food has ever beaten sweets. Except for like Mexican food, with that being said. Tacos, nachos, oh my god. Lone Syndicate says, you are also fun to be around. No, I am not. I am just fucking nothing. I am just a fucking void. And no expression. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ending the stream. Is there anybody who's streaming? Is our boy Lucas streaming? He popped in to say hi. Is he streaming right now? Let's see. You son of a bitch, don't you hide from me. Let's see, Raid. Lucas not streaming, and I have nobody that is currently streaming, and for whatever reason, Saturday streams tend to be a little, I've asked you guys if you have anyone who we should go raid on Saturdays, and it's been quite, no one streams on Saturdays, which seems kind of fucked. Luca says, do you think I'm streaming? I don't know that, Luca. I just know it's late for you. You know, sometimes you're in the darkness playing a variety of games. So, Luca, I didn't know you were still here. Fluff says, it helps that my parents are experienced. Dad used to travel a lot for business, so he's had a good and bad gotcha, good and bad cooks. Makes sense. Fluff says, my mom used to work in a chicken processing plant. It is wonder how she wasn't incapable of eating chicken afterwards, and yet she does without issue. Yeah. I feel like it's some people have the same thing where like they can't eat anything from a restaurant because they know the horrible shit that goes down. Stefan says, good night. Thank TKS for drop and funds. Thanks so much for stopping by, Stefan. Hopefully we see more of you, buddy. And also, good luck to your daughter if she starts streaming. Hopefully she gets everything she wants from it. And Lucas says, yeah, before Monday morning, a thing I do, I stream until 6 a.m. just so I can start the day with a nice charge. Sounds like a horrible idea, actually. Bubba says, I've got a Chica VTuber, a Monkey. Have we read Monkey? Oh, sorry, Mika. Monica. Sorry, words. Let's see. Which one has the lowest as far as the lower view? Oh, so this one has the lower view count? Let's see. Paste this here. Let's check. Person's playing Lego Star Wars. Looks fun. Don't know if it translates to what we're currently playing. Honestly, I don't know if it does anyway to do that. Let's see this again. Raid. Paste. Chewy. Chewy seems neat. No face cam though. King Tomb. Do. Raid. This. All right, good dude's playing Tarkov, or something. No, I don't know what it is. It looks like Tarkov. It looks like some sort of a kid Tarkov thing. Sorry. Yeah, maybe we'll go King. King Tome. Tomes. Tombs? King, we got King. We'll go right King, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, also, loads because I have no one to rate yet. Monica, Mika, yeah. Listen, it's close enough. Come on. What are names? Just fucking nothing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Please go tell this person that they're nothing shy of lovely, because again, we always like to be a positive, not hellish nightmare community here. At least that's the hope. Anyways, also, they're under the just chatting prefix, so maybe there's vibing. I don't know. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully I can see more of you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everyone who hanged out today. Also, we will be streaming on Tuesday over at YouTube. But I definitely need Monday to recuperate. But ladies and gentlemen, have fun. Go tell this person they're nothing but lovely. Appreciate you all spending time with me. And goodbye. Also, I'm going to have to go edit a thumbnail. So video will be uploaded eventually.